Okay, welcome guys, we've got green lights. My name is Daz Tactic, welcome to the channel. We're going to be doing a one-off video at this point in time. May do some other ones as well actually, depending on how we go with this. We're going to be playing some Distant Worlds 2, which has had two massive updates actually just in the last couple of days. The first one is this stellar update, which Dear Explorers were pleased to announce a stellar update for Distant Worlds 2, now available with significant improvements to gameplay and overall game quality, etc, etc. Enriching your interstellar journey through the galaxy. So things are sort of, the quality of life things are starting to come into the game. And we've got a few extra things as well to talk about, like actually some really, even bigger than this update. There's actually something else you can now actually have open access into, which is really cool. We've got enhanced guided ship design back and through here as well. Some of this stuff has been around for a while in the open beta. That's why I always love the open betas, to be honest. And so I just love playing them. Refined user interface. So the interface is getting better and better. So there is actually a new measurement tool, which we've had for months, if you've got the open beta. So much of this stuff is just stuff that we've been playing in the past. But if you now go and opt into the open beta, which has only just been re-released again, this here is version 1.2.05. But back over through here, if you right click on Distant Worlds and go to properties, and then go to betas, just make sure that you drop down into the beta. So beta, this is version 1.2.0.8. And this brings a lot of really cool stuff, even more so for me anyway than what we had sort of seen before. So this is, if you've got Distant Worlds, do this right now. Stop watching and just go and do this, because this actually does change things a lot. Now there is another thing as well. I just want to just check if one of the mods has been updated. Where is it? We've got Realistic Empire Names. That was it back there. Just don't know if this has been updated today. I know the modder who had built this one was in my live stream earlier and did mention. Now, is there an update? Yeah, it looks like it is actually. That was no, that was a day ago. For me anyway. Hi Mike, how are you going? And hi to anybody else that has joined us. So I think I'll load this one back in, but if it doesn't actually update, actually we'll, hang on, this is Realistic Empire Mains DLC edition. What's DLC edition? Oh, hang on, yeah, okay. In that case I will subscribe to that one. I must have the old one, the other one. It only has the DLC racer, so you still need the other mod. Okay, cool. We'll get that one. I don't know if this is updated today or not. I will have a look. And so this is, we'll just go back into the workshop and have a quick look at the, where is it? That's the the realistic ones. Let's just see all the different ones that have come through. Sorry guys, I thought I'd just be able to sort of rattle through this. I thought it would have just updated for me, but it looks like it hasn't. Yeah, there it is there. So this is the other one, which updated. Cool. Okay, so this is now updated with the new changes from today, which is cool. So excellent. So we've got that one already subscribed. Let's go back out. We're going to go into the actual game itself and we'll get started. So there's a lot of really cool changes. I'm not going to go through the stuff that was in the Stellar update because that's been in the beta for a little while. We're going to be looking at the new stuff, which is really exciting. I've sort of been holding off, actually. I've been literally every few hours when I've got my computer open, I've been going in and just checking to see if the beta has been there. And yeah, I did it this morning before I started doing my live stream on Twitch, and it wasn't there. But then some people started coming in saying, "Hey, it's up now." So anyway, it's only just sort of hit. So just make sure that you are playing with version 1.2.08. That's the critical thing. So go to modifications. Now we do want to turn on the realistic empire names again because these have now been flicked in. So we'll just go and do those. I will then go and close those. And that's just reloading content. I will just quit on out and then just reload it in again, just to be doubly sure. Now, one of the really cool things about this, actually, there's so much to talk about with this. I might even sort of start with a start that I never normally would start with in Distant Worlds. So let's just go and start a new game. Then we can start to just look through all the different bits and pieces. So we'll play with 1,000 planets. We'll go with dense nebulas just to sort of keep things, sort of where we've got snaking sort of regions in space. I think I might play in an 8x8 sector, sort of keep it down fairly narrow. And I've got sort of like even clusters. Do we want to play something different? I've got a ring nose center. I do like the ring with the dense center. Like this one actually does play fairly well. I mean, they all play well. It's a dual ring. That one might be interesting. Let's go and play this one here. So let's just go into next is the Galaxy settings. Now we're going to be playing with the Galaxy expansion. I'm going to put it on to expanding, which I never normally do. This is going to then have us with established empires right from the very, very start. Level 1 tech though, so we'll still keep it at low tech. Keep it unstable, hard, some more hostile races near the player. I love this setting in through here. Just sort of put some enemies near you. Research speed will be slow. Only next projects will be visible, and then around. This slow research is going to stop us a bit, but that still should be okay, I think. So I'll still go with random research paths, even though that can be a tricky one. I had two restarts like back to back where I actually was missing my escorts in the earlier stream that I did. I thought it must have been changed in the base game, but it wasn't. The third one actually was third time lucky. It just sort of did work. We'll allow tech trading on. Next, I'm going to change the pirates back to normal and normal, I think. I don't want to rely on them too much. I tend to be just doing that all the time now lately. I love fighting the pirates. I absolutely love it. But I think this way we're going to be sort of trying to more fight. Actually, maybe we'll go with very few but very strong. Let's go that way. Or even few but very strong. Let's do that. That way we're still going to... They're still going to be around. Actually, maybe very few, very strong. I just want to mix it up a bit. Something that I haven't really done much before. Colonization. Now we're going to go normal, 100%, 150 M is going to be the colonization range limit, so fairly small with what we can then go and do. Now this is the really exciting stuff. This is the start of the really exciting stuff. We had like the first 7 factions that came out: the Actarians, the Boscara, the Harkonish, the Humans, the Mortallans, the Teekans, and the Xenox. These first 7. Essentially, they were fine. They came out and everything was good. But when they started to bring out the DLCs, there's 4 that have been added in, like the Dayuts, for example. These have got like special features where they have different things that make them extremely unique to play, like extremely unique. Whereas the original factions don't actually have that. They don't actually have those extra bonuses. So we're sort of missing them from the first group. And what they've been doing is going back and looking and thinking, okay, how can we introduce those same sort of things to those first 7 factions? And so the Dayuts had it, the Gizarians had it, and again, it really makes it very, very interesting to play when you've got these sorts of parameters that you're then sort of working with. And what they've actually just done, so the Ikaru came in as well because it was in a DLC, and the Quamino as well also had their own special way of playing, which is fantastic. They've now just released in this beta patch the humans back in through here. So you've now got a whole lot of different stuff with the humans, which we'll have a look about back in just a minute, and also the Mortallans. So these 2 have now just been released, and I've been wanting to play the Mortallans. I haven't really been happy with the Mortallans. Mortallans were my favourite faction in Distant Worlds universe. I loved playing as them. And one of my favourites. I mean, I had a fair few favourites, to be honest. If I'm being brutally honest, I mean, I did love the Mortallans. I loved the which other ones were there that are actually in this particular group? God, what did I love? The Gizarians, I love playing as them. I had a few anyway. But the Mortallans, I was expecting a lot from the Mortallans when the game launched, but I found that they were just middle of the road. They were a bit sort of boring. But now we actually have all these special features. Now I'm going to be playing as them anyway, so we'll have a look at them when we get into game. The humans, though, let's just have a quick look and see what they've actually had that have been added in through here. So they've got a great art exposition. When you sign a free trade agreement or build a new resort base, obtain a 2-year boost to trade and tourism income throughout your empire. along with a boost to colony income and tourism for the colony where the Great Art Exposition is held. Cannot trigger more than once every 5 years. So essentially, it just means that you're going to become, even more trade-oriented, playing as the humans. Hero of the hour. So when war is declared on you, choose either a new admiral or a new general with 2 positive traits. Now this one, it's missing a comma after you. I'll know what to say now, but when I was doing the live stream before, I was reading it with the wrong pauses in the wrong areas. I couldn't make sense of it. Internal debates. When you sign a new defence treaty, obtain a capable new ambassador, but also a two-year decrease to colony happiness throughout your empire. So essentially, this is where there's like an internal debate about doing like what's going to happen. So you get a strong ambassador, but the happiness levels go down. Happiness is important. Like whenever I think of things like happiness or quality, things like this, all it really means is a lack of a drop in money. You're going to be earning less money when you have these problems. I can show that in game, but essentially colony happiness equals money. So that's sort of the way that it really does impact the game, sort of in its most basic form. Heightened security. When a foreign intelligence mission against you succeeds but is detected, you may choose to send a spy to gain a 2-year boost to counter espionage, along with a decrease to colony happiness throughout your empire. So the empire is unhappy with it, but you do get another aspect where you can go and do it again. Again, colony happiness equals money. New worlds. When you colonize or conquer a continental planet, obtain a free random colonization tech advance. This is fairly big, because what this one does, if you can start to get these, and colonize more and more of the continental worlds, you're going to then learn to colonize desert worlds and all sorts of different things. So I find this one really, really quite interesting, just in terms of a bit of a roll-on effect if you can get it going with playing as the humans. Large carriers. All carrier ships have plus 50 size. So it's not plus 50%, it's just plus 50. So that essentially is another medium bay, a medium fighter bay or bomber bay, with what you can actually then go and do. And then you've got unique leader traits where you've got like alliance builder, ambassador in through here, entrepreneur, a spy trait, industrial agent with extra espionage, and scientist trait, destructive, so plus 10% weapons research. These are unique traits for the humans that may or may not be on these type of units. So doesn't mean you're always going to get them. So they're the unique things with the humans, but we're going to be playing as the Mortallons, because the Mortallons have got a few other little extra things which are really, really quite cool. And so what they've been doing is they've been sort of enhancing all of these, and we'll go through these actually in game itself when we sort of get started. The other thing we have is, if we just go across to your empire and government, things have actually now been changed in here as well, which is really, really cool. Because before, like if we go to allow any and then just go back to some of the old stock standard ones, like democracy, for example, you'll sort of see that there is actually things like special features like enterprising spirit. So chance of a periodic random positive event that temporarily improves research, diplomacy, espionage, or the military occurs approximately once every 10 years on average. So these special features are now being added into the game as well, which I don't think that they were there before. I'm pretty sure that they weren't. We'll come back to feudalism, because we're going to be playing as feudalism, I think, the way that we actually end up sort of starting this one. So some of these don't actually have it, so some of the older ones don't actually get to do that one just yet, but they're going to be enhancing a lot of stuff. Like the Hive Mind does actually have intuitive jumps, so the hyperdrive accuracy doubled when exiting a jump at a location where your empire has an established presence, so colony or a base. And so this one then allows you to keep a lot of cohesion when you're doing an attack. So as the Boscara, when you do choose Hive Mind, you're going to be able to pinpoint your attacks and actually sort of come in and do much, much more aggressive attacks, just because of this feature of Hive Mind. And population growth rates increased by plus 50% during wartime. So imagine the Boscara during a war. All they're going to be wanting to do is just stay at war the whole time. It's just really, really cool. So these are all these new little things that are coming back in. Mercantile Guild doesn't have anything extra. Like that was always there before, the controlling mining ships. I don't think there was any changes. I kept on meaning to go back and compare. Military dictatorship is an interesting one. So this one here is you've got a war world. Can manually initiate a temporary war world event at one of your colonies for 100% boost to troop recruitment, ship construction, and facility construction, but with reduced colony happiness. So War World lasts for 2 years and costs 20,000 credits to initiate. And so essentially it's costing you 20,000 credits. The happiness goes down, so you're losing money there as well. But if you need to very, very quickly ramp up your military production, this is a way to do it. So you can actually really sort of start to push things forward. Now, in Distant World Universe, there was certain city or certain planets that you would want to get at certain times that gave you big boosts, like getting 100% troop recruitment and things like this. This sort of replaces that. But you've got to be playing, of course, as a military dictatorship. But if you are, then you sort of have the ability to enhance what you're going to be doing. So if you're swimming in money, but all of a sudden really, really need to sort of pump out a fleet of ships or get like an invasion force going, you can do it. So reassuring security. So high troop presence at your colonies adds up to +5 happiness, which equals even more money. This colony approval factor starts when you have at least half the expected troop levels to defend the colony. Check the colony approval factors in the selection panel for details. And so this is, again, very, very unique to a military dictatorship. It makes these ones that weren't all that great because of like incomes and stuff like this, where they were poor with income. It actually now makes them much, much more fun and viable to play, which is really, really cool. Then we've got things like the monarchy in through here. You end up with a flagship. So you can designate one military ship as your empire flagship. Flagships have a 10% targeting countermeasures, ship maneuvering, ship speed, and damage control. When your flagship destroys an enemy military ship of equal or greater size, your empire receives a 1-year happiness bonus. When your flagship is destroyed, your empire receives a 1-year happiness penalty. So to assign a military ship as your flagship, right-click the ship for a pop-up menu option. So if you can get a really, really powerful small ship, you're going to do pretty damn well with it. Like it's actually, it's pretty cool the way that one does actually work. It's sort of like, again, you start thinking in terms of how can I make that particular ship, get some, like you could milk the game a little bit with this if you wanted to. And then always justified. All wars you declare are always considered justified by your population, thus slowing the growth rate of war weariness. So in this case, the war weariness doesn't sort of kick in as much if you're playing as a monarchy. And it makes what was traditionally something that wasn't a great government type to play now becomes a much more cool government type to play. So if that makes any sort of sense. Republic, I don't think that's got any special abilities. Just treaty bonuses, so nothing much there. The others I think are all pretty much technocracy. There's nothing much in through there either. So but the one we're going to be playing is going to be feudalism in through this other side, which has a lot of negatives about it. And again, it's not one that I would normally choose to play, except now we've got all this really cool stuff. So we've got upgraded militia. So defending militia troops are much stronger than usual, providing better defense against invaders. When one of your colonies is conquered, any rebellion against the invaders will also produce stronger militia troops as they attempt to return to your empire, which again is pretty damn cool. Like anyone that takes over a feudalism world is going to have to really come in with a very, very strong military now. Feudal obligations, so doubled troop recruitment rate for 2 years after a war starts. And then privateer navy. So nobles within your empire will fund construction and operation of a small number of escorts to defend civilian shipping. These ships are funded from your private economy, so purchase and maintenance. They cannot be manually controlled. So, and it's pretty cool. You end up with all these different little ships just doing their own thing. Getting in your way, to be honest, if I'm being brutally honest, like they end up sort of coming off and it's like having, like, it is like a feudalism society where you've got all these different minor robber barons, like sort of rolling around in their escorts, sort of ganging up on pirates and things that you may be wanting to sort of handle a different way, like as in capture, and these things are sort of there chugging away, blowing things up that you don't want blown up. It's really quite cool, I got to say. So feudalism is what we're going to be playing. That's allowed by our race. So we've got feudalism back in through there. These are the only ones we have that are playable from the perspective of the Mortallans. So we'll just go into the starting situation. Now we also want to be going into expanding. So we'll play also fairly large. So we're going to end up with a bit of an empire. There's going to be multiple empires across this one through here. We're going to go to the inner ring if we can. So we'll just try to sort of sit in through there. If we end up in no man's land, I'm going to start again, although we shouldn't if we've got these sort of empires. Other empires, I might just drop this one down to say 12. It's because we're playing on a smaller system. Victory conditions, I'm tempted to turn off the major threats, but I think I'll just leave it on for now. And I have turned off the story events because I do find them a little bit one-dimensional. Although, to be honest, to be fair, I haven't actually played with them on for a long, long period of time. Now, there are supposed to be a few more cutscenes as well, but I haven't had one of them come up. So I'm pretty sure this is the same as what we've seen before. It did take a bit longer to load it in when I was playing it before as well. Not sure if it's just trying to find where it can sort of squeeze the empires in. It may not work, so we'll have to see how it does go. There's still more exciting things to show when we do get in, and I'm hoping I can actually show that off as soon as we do get in there. There's something I've been waiting for an awfully long time, and it's finally here in the game. Well, in this version of the game anyway. So all these little quality of life things are now sort of coming into it, which is really enhancing it enormously. So they've done a great job again, just with the development of it. It's I love where they're moving with the game. God, it really is struggling. If I was recording it normally, I'd be pausing this at this stage, and then unpausing when it sort of all comes back in. Now, I don't think it'll be those mods that we had that will cause the problems. I would assume not. It may just be that the empires are too big for the galaxy that we've got, which is why I sort of knocked it back a little bit. It doesn't want to start. Anyway, we'll just let it go, let it do its thing. It's still moving, so I'm assuming it's all okay. The music's still playing. Ben has been saying excited to give this a try, but still need to learn Shadow Empires and a few others to actually give them some playthroughs. Really hope that they get everything done get everything done with it they want. Yes, this is an awesome game. It's really quite cool. Okay, we've come across a few other little areas in through here. So our faction is known as the Othares Aristocratic Union. Our government is feudalism. We are the Mortallans, who are typically very aggressive and very dependable. Mortallans have natural skills in war weariness reduction, weapons research, armor research, mining rate, ship maneuvering, ship recovery rate, troop experience gain, damage control, and ship maintenance savings. Our leader is Vok Hulskat, skilled in reactor research. Our home colony is Jerma, a rocky desert planet in the Othares system. Nearby is the gas giant planet Othares 6. So we're a moon around Othares 6. So we're essentially around a gas giant. We also have 6 other colonies. So Othares 3, Moirab, which is going to be a moon. Mimosa 4, which will be in a different area. Thetis 1 is another area, and Nerastus 1, and Sirius 2. So we've got to look at, we are spread out, which is actually pretty cool. Which means we're going to have we're going to have to protect our holdings a little bit. Our level of technology is expanding, allowing us to explore beyond our home system. We're in contact with the Harkonish Syndicate, which is what we're seeing through here. So a Harkonish faction. Huratag, an independent colony of Actarians. Asaresk, an independent colony of Actarians as well. Gamaluk 2, an independent colony of Dayuts. And Nintan 2, an independent colony of Dayuts as well. So we've got 2 independent Dayuts and 2 independent Actarians. Explore, expand, and conquer. Let's just get started. So we didn't go into the center, but that's still going to be okay. We'll come in and then we'll just click on pause. I wish it would start paused. Well, it did today. Okay, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so we'll just we'll leave that one where that is. This is the other cool thing. We now have borders. So you can very clearly see the differentiation of where your border starts and the other border sort of finishes. So there's no more trying to guess where things actually are, which is very, very cool. Now, are we happy with staying all the way back through here? And I think we are. We're aware of all of these areas out through this other side. We're aware of these into here as well. We're fully aware of where the Harkonish actually are, and then we've got the other two groups over through here, which are the Daots. So we've got the two Daot worlds, and then we've got the two Akdarian worlds back out through this other side as well. So we might sort of have to go on a bit of combat there to sort of destroy them as much as we possibly can. Let's just have a look at more of what's going on through here. But this is really cool as well. So there's so much to like about what's going on. I'm sort of almost... I find these maybe a bit too thick. I wish I was looking for a setting to go and change the actual weight of the border. That would be cool to have. I'm guessing those sorts of little other things will come in at some point, I would imagine. But there's so much to like about the game now. It's really, really cool. Been saying my apologies, I'm sick and don't word good at the moment. That's okay. I hope you feel better soon. Harkonish Syndicate encountered. We've encountered a new empire in the Otharis systems. So Otharis, now that's actually... we've encountered them here, which means that we're just aware of them from our home world. The Empire is predominantly composed of Harkonish. The Harkonish are very naturally very hostile towards us. Initial communication with the Harkonish have been catastrophically bad. A poor translation of our standard greeting in their language mistakenly invited the Harkonish to become our slaves. Despite our subsequent reassurances, they have taken great offence. Research projects are available on our tech tree that would increase our understanding of the Harkonish. We should research these projects to improve relations with them. I don't think we're going to worry about it because in one sense we should be able to get strong enough to be able to essentially wipe them out. So that shouldn't be an issue for us. The Mortallans are a strong faction, and playing as a feudalism now, we're going to be a fairly aggressive reptilian group. We'll dismiss that one through there. What else do we have? The new First Lord has appeared. This is Yok Halskut, so that's okay. We've got the Harkonish, who they actually are. These, now I don't know what, we'll have to look and see what they've actually got as well. There's a bit we have to do at the start through here. New leader for the Harkonish Syndicate is Vos Serafu. If it's a syndicate, it's probably going to be a mercantile guild, I would guess, which is what they excel at. We've got a new spy in through there as well. A new admiral has appeared as well. And they're suggesting that we offer it to Huraturg a gift, which we're not going to do. So we're going to decline that one straight away. And what we now want to do is we want to sort of change. Well, there's a lot we want to set up. The first thing I like to do when I've been playing the game is just go to policies and just change this one back to default. And then I like to just come back down to the very bottom of this little section. And the last one's a fleet formation, fleet postures, and fleet ship management. I don't want the game overriding what I do with those. So I'm going to change all of those three to manual. I'm going to leave everything else on default. So they're the only things I'm going to change. I'm then going to change things as the game starts to play. That's one thing. Let's have a look and see who we're actually up against. So we'll just have a quick look at the diplomacy. And the Harkonish Syndicate is a mercantile guild, so they're going to be able to sort of direct they're going to be wanting to trade. So even though we've got problems with them at this stage, you can see there the main problem is that we distrust you because of our limited experience with you. But it's rusting down, it's actually dissolving away at 2 per year. So this -18 will dissolve right away. This one is also, we've got we're troubled by your strange alien ways. This one's actually, it's trending downwards at -5 per year. So at the moment, this is going to get stronger and stronger as this gets weaker and weaker. And also unhappy with your style of government. That's also going to make them become even more unhappy. So when you add all these things together, we have a trending downwards at -4.5 per year. So we should expect them to be more aggressive over time with us. Now we've got what we have through here. We've got this one set. The diplomatic strategy is set to automated, and the overall response from us is going to be one of conquering them. So that's sort of where we are. If I make that one manual, I can then go back through, and it will then just mean that the AI, if it's trying to assist us, will then assist us to do things in a certain way. Like for example, in this case, we can conquer, like open conquer. We're not at war with them, but if the AI gets to make any suggestions or any decisions for us, it's going to have that in mind as to what the goal is for this particular faction. We can have undermine, defend, neutral, befriend, ally, or close ally. So we've got all these different things, which is sort of diplomacy, but in a simulated way. And this is one of the cool things about this game. I should always start off this by saying that Distant Worlds 2 is a simulation more than a game. And that's really, really quite cool to think of it in those terms. Like if you look at nearly every other Space 4X, you're looking at more of a board game sort of style, or even like essentially like more of like a board game. Like you could actually play the others as a board game. You can't do that with Distant Worlds 2. It's too complex. But the complexity you don't have to get involved in the complexity. The game will play itself to a large degree. And this is one of those instances where if you just leave it, so it says conquer a strategy means that your empire will prepare for war against this empire, moving your fleets into position for attack. You will also use the full array of espionage and sabotage missions against this empire. So in that one little example, I have, for example, got my spies just set to auto. So this guy is just going to be set to automation. Now he knows that, like he's just going to do his own decision, and I'm happy for that to be the case. So I don't like micromanaging what these guys do, unless they become really, really quite good. But he's going to be trying to do whatever he can to upset this other faction. So he's going to be attacking this faction with his different things that he can then go and do. So we won't even get involved in that in this session. But that's one of those instances where we have him available. If we want to if we want to override everything, we can actually go and do it, but we don't have to. And because we've set up that we've overridden, well, in fact, it was there anyway, but we've now made this one manual, which means it won't flick around. The AI won't decide later on, oh, hang on, they're more friendly than we thought. Let's go and change it. We can just have it so that this is always going to be a conquer aspect to it. And that means that like our spies are always going to be aggressive against them. Which again is really cool, the way everything sort of meshes in, where you don't have to, like, it seems like it's a complicated game, and it does have complexity, but it doesn't have to be complicated. I hope I've solved that one. Hi Sketic, how you going? Hi Tarsus, so stop selling games, Daz. I can't afford them. I just don't have time to play them all. Hi Buckley, how you going? Tarsus saying, unless I quit my jobs, I suppose, then I could afford them. Then I couldn't afford them. So we've got the so with the Harkonish, that's the major faction. Then we actually have the pirates, which we don't know about. Then we've got the independents. Now with Gamalook, if we have a look at these ones in through here again, you can see how we've got strategy as diplomacy. Now again, this is on auto, so it may then change to, this is diplomacy leading to peaceful colonization. I'm going to change all of these. Now what I can do is set this to have like I can make it manual for everything to do with diplomacy. Like, and I'll just show you where that is, just in case you are wanting to know. But if I go to diplomacy, I can certainly, actually that's a little bit in there, where it's got like offering gifts, negotiating treaties, and starting and ending wars. There should be more with that. Let's have a bit of a look and see. There's the intelligence missions. Actually, I'm not seeing where it is. I don't ever bother changing it, so I'm not sure where it is, but you can sort of set most things to either automated, manual, or suggestions, whatever else it might actually be. But I'm not seeing it there. I thought it would have been under diplomacy, a little bit of extra stuff in there. There's the intelligence missions. There's so much you can set for, like most of it is all automated. But you can then just go and sort of, just set things up however you want it to actually be. But I think what I'll do is I will just go and set, I'm not going to be wanting to offer any gifts anyway, so I'm just going to set that one to manual. But I am going to go back across into the diplomacy here. And, sorry, that's not diplomacy, this one through here. And just set these to be manual all the way through. So as we come through, I'll just make them manual. And then we're not going to have diplomacy leading to peaceful colonization. We're going to invasion when able. So all of these will become strategy, will be the invasion strategy, which again will then just sort of lead us through. So hang on, You can see through there, your empire will improve relations with the independent colony through gifts and trade treaties until they invite your peaceful colonization. Now, that's another point. Maybe we do it just one at a time, because we do actually have trade agreements with them. If we go with invasion, your empire will prepare to invade and take the independent colony by force. Note that invading independent colonies incurs a reputation penalty. Let's go and keep the other ones there with peaceful colonization for now. So let's just keep it like that for now, but we won't give them any gifts. So we'll just leave that one in through there. So Buckley's saying, so that's what the new borders look like. So it's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm playing with a bigger empire now. It could still be better. Like, to be honest, like it would. It's a little bit half-assed, I guess, but it's still much better than what was there before. And I just wish I could control them a little bit differently. So it's sort of they certainly stand out a lot. And so it'd be cool if you did have some choice over the way that they did show up. But it does look good. It does look very, very good. Anyway, let's just leave it like this for now with these guys. Again, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it. The ambassadors, we don't actually have any at this stage. Spies, we've just got the one. No prisoners at this stage either. Leaders, don't really need to sort of know much about them at this stage. We do actually have an admiral, which we'll sort of set up fairly soon. These are the different colonies that we have. So we've got a fair few colonies that we start with. Some of them are fairly large. Mimosa, yeah, and then we've got the big ones in through here as well. So we've got a few large ones but you can see there the money is draining away. Now this will change very, very quickly, but we will have to sort of get on top of this as well. I'll talk a little bit about how this one works a little bit later on. New colonies, we do actually have, so these are areas that we can try to take over. And then we have Bextons as well. Where's Bextons? Oh, it's too far away. So disabled beyond our colonization range. So Bextons, it's too far away from here. Now to sort of find out how things are going with this, if I press Shift and then click, and then go and click again, we can see that that's 320. I've got a limit of 150 now, so that's too far from any of my colonies. I would need to settle a couple of these before I could get to that one. So Bextons is good, and then everything else is low. That one's not bad, but that's on the other side. Where's Quatermead? Yeah, that's too far away. That's also too far away. Yep, beyond their reach. And then we've got that some of these are just way too low for us to sort of then try to go and get. So we want to be if we can take over this one, we then have access to all of these. So that would actually then sort of open things right up. The Nintan colonies as well would mean that we'd be wanting to take all these over first, and then we go for this one. So I think we're going to be playing with a very, very heavy military aspect to what we're going to be doing. So Dom UK is then saying, I love the new borders. Sometimes it's just the simple things. It is. It makes the games, like these are the little quality of life things that make such a big difference to the gameplay. It's monstrously big. It's monstrously important. So yeah, I'm really happy that they've done it, because it's so clear. It's so clear now where the border actually is, which is fantastic. So wherever the border touches, we now have a painted border, which is like these changes that are coming in with the game right now. As long as you get the open beta, you have all this extra content, which is so much more, I think anyway, than the previous one that they just released a few days ago. The Stellar update or whatever it was called. Like this is heaps better. So I've been waiting. I didn't want to do anything on the Stellar update because I knew that this was coming, and so I've been so excited about this particular one coming through. Yeah, Buckley's saying it was desperately needed, in my opinion. Oh, it was. It really was. I mean, I'm in the closed beta, and I bitch about this all the time. So now I'm going to have to find something else to bitch about. All the things I've asked for. I asked for the measurement tool. It's in here. The one thing I haven't been bitching about is to have the queued orders. I'll go back to asking for queued orders. Because I know that that's also good at stopping a lot of people from playing it. Buckley's in sort of saying you could get a lower suitability, then later get the tech to improve the suitability, right? Yes, you can. Yes. So if we go into our technology, actually they've got a different background there. I haven't noticed that one before. It's got like a leather look to it, which I hadn't noticed. I always just thought it was black. It's got a different sort of colour. Actually, I have never seen that before. Maybe that's new as well. Anyway, so as you come back down, when you go down into your colonisation, you then end up with, for example, we've got basic colonisation in through here, but then you have improved colonisation down this way, which actually allows you then to do terraforming, which you can then increase to the quality improvement amount is 5%. So you can improve a little bit with what's going on through there. And then we actually have things, for example, like the continental colonisation as well. Or actually, if we're in we're going for desert worlds. And so what this one does is it changes the quality threshold. It makes us more able to actually, so we can terraform to bring the planet towards what we want, but we can also change ourselves to be able to adapt better into different other situations. So we have -5 through here. Now beyond this one, there's another one of these as well. So we can essentially squeeze about 15 when we combine all of these ultimately. So there's a lot we can do. And when we had a look before, the humans, when they start to colonize different continental worlds, they then get access to some of these as well. So playing as the humans now, you'll be wanting to just colonize it, not really crappy worlds, but a lot of the 15s and between say the 12 from 12 to 20, you probably sort of be wanting to grab some of those if they're continental worlds, so that you can get some random techs in through here as well and see what else you can grab, which is really, really great. So Buckley's in saying, I think Eric already said that they were planning to add queued orders. I thought that there was resistance to it, but that Eric wanted it, I think. I may be wrong about that, but I will put more pressure on that one, because that's something that that's something that people do like. I'm not going to queue anything up at this stage. We've just got the hyperdrive technology. That's 11.9 years, which isn't too bad. Everything else is looking pretty good there. Now we have a lot that we have to set up through here. We have a few unique techs as well, but I won't go through what they actually are at this stage. Now, the first thing we want to be doing is there won't be that many pirates, but when they do come, we're going to need to have some defenses. Now, I'm just going to set up what I had set up in Twitch. So I'm just going to very quickly go in, and without thinking too much about it, just going to go into my ship designs. Going to go to roll. I've only got the one escort. Damn it. This is another one where I have missed out on all of my good escorts, which is actually really important that I have that, particularly playing as a feudal society. So sorry guys, we have to restart. So main menu. I mean, everything we spoke about is okay, although not all of it is, I guess. We're just going to go start new game. So I'm just going to keep all the settings the same as what they were. I'm going to try to do the inner ring. If you can't fit, it will then put you wherever else it can. See how we go. Now, it's important. I should have checked that one first. It's important that we have the other escorts, because we make use of those escorts, and there's no way for us to get them really unless we steal the technology, and that's not likely to happen. So because we're playing with random tech paths, that's what actually happened in through there. So Buckley's saying, Don 5 saying fleet stances, ranges on the map I want next. Yeah, ranges on the map, we can still figure that one out. I'll show you what I mean with that one as far as the sector ranges are. We can do that. Now we've got the there we go. We've got the Quamino this time. That's interesting. I'll just go and click on OK. So we can see there's a few different empires around us. God, it's been raining here just constantly. First contact, we'll dismiss that one, and we do start off unpaused this time. I don't know why it does that. That's pretty weird. This guy's pretty bad actually, but he'll come good hopefully over time. Let's have a look and see where we are. So we've got a smaller group. We do actually have a group of Boscara there, which is interesting. So we've got a few other different groups. There's Quaminos back in this way. Dayuts down that way. What are they? Gizarians, I think. Maybe wrong about that. What is that? Yeah, I think it's Gizarians, I think. Yeah, Gizarians, yep. Okay, so do we have what we needed? Yeah, so now we have all the escorts, and it's important that we have those. All right, so we started on the outside edge yet again. Not as close to the others as we were, but this will still be okay. So so we do actually have now a few different other factions in around us. We've already set up it does remember what we'd set up previously, so that's all okay. We'll just go back in and go in and start quickly designing these ships. So the frigate is the one we want to be capturing ships with. So I'm just going to go back in. I'll just go to upgrade. When you upgrade, it will automatically now change it so that it will then become a manual design, which is important. And we're going to call this one the torpedo frigate. So I won't go through all the stuff. I'm just filtering it by category and family, and then sorting it by category, family, and then size, just so that these are all then sort of sorted. In terms of what we actually have in through here, I want to get rid of the point defense cannon because it's pretty useless. I want to get rid of the railgun. I will ultimately replace the torpedo. Let's just go back down. We're going to go and grab the Sentinel multi-beam, throw one of them there. And actually, no, I'm just going to put one on the back. I'm going to ditch it from there. I want to be disabling other ships. So I'm going to go with the iron cannon in the middle. Now, the Quamino are a weird faction where getting through their shielding is going to be quite hard, but we'll be okay, I think. Then we just go with the medium torpedoes and throw them into the front. So that's going to be our base design. We're going to get rid of the short-range sensor, and we're going to throw in our special multi-lock sensors, which give us plus 20% targeting. So we're going to be able to do more damage, but we're not going to be able to avoid things as much. The bonuses we end up having in this particular one, we're right on the 450 size. Ship manoeuvring is plus 45%, damage control plus 10%, ship maintenance savings plus 60%, and then ship speed is plus 15%. Now we can travel at 73, which is fine, but we don't actually have any point defense pointing frontwards. It's only pointing in behind, which is a problem. So we need to have these working in with other ships. So we're just going to go and save and exit. That then changes this one automatically to manual. I'm going to change all of these because these are all, because the AI may decide to use these in different roles. So we'll just go into the basic escort. Actually, I'll start with the heavy escort because that's the one that we want to be using. So I'm just going to go and upgrade this one as well. Oh, actually, sorry, just cancel that one. The frigate, one thing I'd always like to do with all the ships is just going to go to edit, change this one so we're playing aggressively the whole time, which means we're going to be closing the gap. And I do like to retreat when we have shields below 20% and armor below 50%. So I'll just save and exit. You can do that even if you've got ships built at this point in time. Okay, then we've got the heavy escort. I'm just going to go and do an upgrade of that one. And I'll just call this one the heavy escort. And we're going to be using beam weapons to try to sort of bring the shielding down on the enemy ships. I'll just ditch the point defense cannon, get rid of the rail guns. And what else have we got in through here? We've got the, get rid of that one as well. Oh, hang on, I still have to go back to the other one as well. I was going to put an assault team on those other ships. We'll just go with the heavy escort. Back into here. Now we do need to get the point defense now, Sentinel multi-beam in the middle. So that one's just going to be sort of in the center. And then for the front of this, we're just going to use Thuon beams. So I'll put 2 Thuon beams on the front. And so that's just going to be a basic sort of beam attack fighter. We then come back down to the multi-lock sensors, throw that into there. Now we've just got 1 point left over, which we can't do anything with, and so that's actually fine where that is. So that's the heavy escort. Save and exit that one. Then we'll go to the patrol escort, which is our fast escort. So we're just going to go and upgrade that one as well. You know, I did it again. I keep on forgetting to do this stuff. Hang on, let's go back to the frigate. Did I do everything with the frigate? I think I did. Heavy escort, edit. Again, aggressive, 2050. That's what we want there. So save and exit. It's important that I do that. I'm just rushing through. Patrol escort, upgrade. Now, the designs are certainly serviceable with what they actually do bring in. This one doesn't have that central beam at the top. And in this case, there was one other thing I need to do back on the frigate. I'll just still finish this one off. This one's got extra engines, so extra motors in through this other side. Let's go and ditch that one. Grab the multi-lock again. Railgun, point defense cannon. I'll just go back to Thuon beams and a Sentinel multi-beam, just so it's got it there. This one is 406. There's nothing much else we can do there. It does say we've got another area there. We may be able to get a thrust vector. Yeah, it'll take the thrust vector on there. That'll do. So that's it's essentially going to be the patrol escort, which is nice and fast. So save it again. Just aggressive, 2050. Save and exit. And then just the basic escort in through here. So upgrade. Get rid of point defense cannon and railguns and sensor array. In this case, we're just going to go and throw in again the multi-lock sensors, which we have. This is special for Mortallons. We're going to grab the Sentinel, fire that one from the front, and we'll just go with a Thuon beam again, just a beam attack, nice and simple. We're 361. I don't know if I can throw another engine in. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to squeeze it. Actually, no, I'm not going to be able to do anything with that one, so I'll just get another thrust vector. Just give it a bit more maneuverability. So it's going to be able to turn faster in space with that one on there. Everything else is looking okay. Again, aggressive, 2050, and save and exit. And this is going to be the basic escort. All right, and go back to our frigate because I forgot to do something. I'm just going to go and edit this one. I'm going to ditch one of the fuel cells. Our fuel cells, we got up to 300, and we don't need that. So I'm just going to go and, these are size 10. So fuel cells are size 10. I'm just going to go and ditch one of those and put in an assault pod so we can take over enemy ships. All right, so that's going to be our frigates. They're going to be used for boarding. So we'll just save and exit that one. So Richard's saying, do you have to do this with every ship class? No, you don't. You don't even have to do it if you don't want to. I like doing it, so I like to have the control. But that's my most enjoyable aspect of the game. Actually, is managing the fleets. So, but if you don't like it, you don't do it. You just let the AI do it. The AI, it is serviceable what it does do. It's just not fit for purpose as such, and we want to be very, very clear with what we do. Now, the other thing we can then go and do, again, because I've turned off fleet management, the game won't manage the fleets for me. So I have to do that myself. So I go into here where I have the fleet templates. This is the fleet templates in through this other side. Now, we do actually have a whole lot of ships already. Some of them are already being built as well. These are just all little troop transports, frigates, and escorts and things. So I'm going to go and make use of some of these and start to build up attack fleets and things with these. So let's go into here. Now, the thing I like to do initially is we don't need big fleets at the start of the game. We just need little defense fleets. And so if we go into this side in through here, I can then just go and edit what a defense fleet is and what it does. So if I go into edit, this one's got cruisers and destroyers, which we don't have access to. We've only got frigates and escorts. So I'm just going to go and add in the escort. So I can go, these are the different classes of ships. So let's go and make it so that we end up with 4 frigates, 4 escorts. And the frigate, we're going to go with the latest design for the hull frigate, so whatever that might end up being. And then we're going to go with the heavy escort because that's got the point defense weaponry on it. So we've got the frigate and the heavy escorts, 4 each is going to be in our actual fleets. Their fleet engagement range for it, so it goes through what everything actually is in through here. But what I want to do is I want to limit how far these will then go away from where they've been stationed. And so I want these to just stay in the same system. So I'm just going to go and do that. That's all I need to do there. Now I'm going to go and start to set up some fleets. Because I've already got a whole lot of ships in through here, I've got escorts. I'm just going to go and start to shift click these. Actually, if I go and so if I start to select multiple of these, it's funny, the measurement tool is kicking in as I do this, which it shouldn't do actually. Anyway, that's frigates, troop transport, and then we've got an escort down there as well. Now this one is this is under feudal control. Sorry, we can't do that one. We have to, when it's got the little star. This is one of these new things that are in the game. The AI is just going to start building its own fleets, like its own ships essentially, and they're just going to be running all over the place, which is really, really cool. But we don't get to do anything with those. So let's just go across into here where we've got how many have we got? We've got 3 frigates and an escort. I'm just going to go and make these, create a new fleet with these ships. This is going to be the first fleet. So that's the start of it. Now the actual fleet template, you can see there it was set to an attacking fleet, but we just set up our defense fleet. So I'm going to make that the template that we use, and then I'm going to tell the game to build me the rest of the ships that we require. So you can see that we've got top up the fleet with ships. So do that. We're now building the rest of the fleet. And I can then click on retrofit fleet to the latest designs at the Algeria 1. So back over through here where the fleet is actually positioned. And this is actually set up at the Strelor 4 spaceport as the home base. We may change that. We're going to need probably 3 fleets, I think, with what we're doing. So we're just going to tell it to go and retrofit as well. So it's retrofitting at Algeria. So that's one of them. Okay, now we've still got 60,000. We may not have enough resources, but that's one fleet. Let's go and create a second fleet at least. So we just go back across into our fleets, in through here. Defense fleet is the one that we just set up. It's going to cost me 37,000, so maybe I'll even get 3. We'll see how we go. If we run out of resources as well, we're not going to be able to build them. We're going to build this one at Algeria 2 spaceport, or Strelor 4 spaceport. Actually, I'll go to Algeria 2. So we'll just go that way. And that one did work. It's taken the money out, and we got all 4, so that's actually fine. And you can see there the fleet role is set to defend at that particular location. And to be honest, it's going to be handy for us to maybe go with one more. The 2 fleets, I've got 3 locations. That's the thing I have to be mindful of. So I think I'll actually build a 3rd fleet. So let's just see if we can do that as well. So just come back in and defense fleet, and just build the new defense fleet at, I'll do it at Strelor 4. And we can't quite afford it. We ran out of money. We only had essentially the frigates that were then built. And so we can top up again later on with this one through here. And so that's also going to be a defense fleet and through that other side. Now if I press F, you can see it'll just cycle through. So I'm just going to go Control 1 so I can pick the first fleet. Press F, Control 2, and then F, and then Control 3. We'll then pick up those. Now we'll just have to wait for the game to, I'll just let it now run forward. Build a mining station, Caslon and Krypton. Yep, we'll assign that one. We get starfighters when we've got feudalism. We end up with all these different things as well. Just dismiss that. A new First Lord named Starby has appeared. Okay, so this is our main leader. So our borders will sort of increase depending on how happy everyone is essentially back at there. Now this is going to be an interesting little area. And through this other side, there's potentially going to be some problems in there for us. When you see small nebulas like this, it usually means that there's hive ships and things that we're going to have to overcome. There we go, the borders are now touching back over here as well. Oh, hang on. Yeah, sector range. We didn't actually do that. So we decided that this was going to be an 8 sector wide. Now, if I press Shift and click here and then go across, you'll see it's actually now nearly 1600. So it looks like a sector is 200 M by the looks of things. when I go that way. So that's about 200 M across the galaxy. So sorry, it's 1600 across the galaxy, and so it must be 200 would be a sector in that sort of sense. So I can sort of do that again if I press Shift and just go from anything to anything. I can then sort of see what the range actually is. So a sector is around about that far out. So I can get a bit of a feel for just how far it is, just with the way that the game actually does do that one. Hi Kay Shizzle, how are you going? So we'll just again unpause. Now we have a lot of building to do, but we're building in different locations. Now our money has come back up again. If we just go back through our fleets, go back to the third fleet, and just top up with the ship with the fleet with ships, we're down to 2. But we actually have now got these set up as well. So we've now got all 3 fleets. New ambassador has appeared. Just going to let the ambassadors and stuff just do their own thing manually. And they'll start to sort of build things up. So let that one all come through. New escort completed. There we are. Here we go. Now it also is, I'll just pause because it now wants us to start building things at different locations. So at Algebia 2, it wants to build a troop cloning facility. So we'll actually build that one. It wants to build an armor barracks also at Algebia 2. We'll do that one as well. And it also wants to build construction ships, which I'm happy enough to do as well. We'll build those. That will then allow us to start to build up our military, our invasion forces. Now we're going backwards a little bit, but everything else is sort of working out fairly well. So the escorts are now sort of rolling off the different production lines. Oh, here we go. So we've now come across the pirates. So we've encountered a new pirate faction in the Algebia system, the Progenius Force. This pirate faction is predominantly composed of Mortallans, same as their empire. Though they are pirates, they could prove useful allies if handled properly. Initial communications with Mortallans have been extremely successful. So this one we will actually go and make the rule of thumb I have is that I don't choose any pirates unless they're my own faction, and pretty much unless they're friendly right from the start. And so we're going to be paying them off to have them not attack us. One of the benefits of having pirates attack you, once you've got these initial fleets built, is that you can capture their ships. And so I'm going to say yes, we'll be friendly with them. Yeah, I think we'll just be friendly with them and just see if we can sort of get on well with them. So looking for some insurance when traveling through all those dangerous pirate-infested systems, and so we'll accept this deal. Just dismiss that one. And so that's now fine. So they're not going to attack us anymore. And eventually, actually, they're in here. So this is actually their base of operations was here. So this is their home base. And we won't go after them, but hopefully we'll find another pirate group so we can go after the other pirates. I'm using a mod to colour these as well, by the way, just so we can sort of see what they are a bit more clearly, which is quite cool. Okay, so it's all working well. Oh, one thing I didn't go through was the benefits or the abilities we actually have. They're going to start to sell us stuff. I want to go through this as fast as possible, so I'm just going to go and accept these trades. So that's all going to be fine, because the more we trade with them, the friendlier they'll be, and then eventually they'll stop. We won't have to pay them anything. And so this is another reason that you want to have your own faction when you're doing this, because you end up going very quickly through this protection arrangement with them and ending up becoming almost like an ally of them, which is where we want to end up. The other bits and pieces we need to do is characters, colonies. What was I going to do? There was something else I was just going to do. We do want to take over this Boscara world. I do have the money now to go and do this one. Now, there's going to be Algebia. Must be this one here. This is our biggest world. Yeah, we're building up the troop cloning and the armor barracks. Actually, I'll wait for that to be built before we do anything else. One thing I might just do is quickly just go back into construction and go to the build orders and build myself more troop transports. Let's get 2 more of those. And I will just go now back to my other ships, select the troop transports, and just grab all 3 of these and put them into their own fleet as well. Create a new fleet with these ships. And so this will be the 4th invasion fleet. And so that will ultimately be what we then end up taking out with us. And so the invasion fleet, what I want them to do is if I just press F, the 4th invasion fleet, I'll go Control 4 with those, just so we've got them established. Now they're set to manual is their role, which is sorry, the fleet template. I'm gonna make it invasion fleet down through there, even though we're not really defining that, because we'll probably end up with other things in there actually. New escort completed. Just dismiss those. Actually, one thing I will do is I will come back in for the invasion fleet. I'll keep it up to date with whatever we're doing. So let's go and edit this one. And so we're going to go to get rid of destroyers and frigates, just keep the troop transports and just keep them at 3 because that's all we're going to have initially. Fleet engagement range just nearby. I'm happy with that because nearby essentially means we'll engage enemy targets that are nearby. Now, what nearby actually means is it has to be really close to the location that they're at, like whatever their home base is. So they won't, for example, if you've got like a mining operation on the Caslon world that's nearby, and you then actually have and then you have a moon around the outside with another sort of mining operation, they will only look after 1. They won't go to 2, and so nearby is actually good enough for these. We don't want them wandering off, and so I'm happy enough for that to be the case with what they end up going and doing. So they'll just their role is invasion. So I'll just go and exit back out of that one. And so this one I will set the fleet role to invade. And so it's now going to be using that one. And the template is also going to be invasion, which means it will no longer be wanting to top up with ships. So if I change what an invasion fleet is and add more ships to it, I can then just top up automatically with that. It makes this automation really, really cool and quick. Okay, so yeah, Buckley's saying I also see a nearby range. Don't suppose you know? Yeah, so essentially. Now, did we have one that was a moon? I thought we had one that was a moon somewhere. Yeah, this one here. So let's just say that this is one where we've got like an operation. What's that one there? This is a Grand Resort. If we had established back over through here that Algebia 1 was going to be the home base of that particular group, if the 4th here had the home base instead of Estrella 4 spaceport, and really what I should do, because we're going to be building our troops from here, we should actually go and change it so that the 4th invasion fleet, if I right click over this one, set the home base for the 4th invasion fleet to Algebia 2 spaceport, that will now automatically go back to this spaceport and hover around this spaceport without moving off. And what nearby means, so if you have a look at those different locations, by the way, I can override that at any point as well, where it's got the, so it's got, in fact, this is because we set it up manually before, I have to go and do it. So nearby means that if this gets attacked and they're over here, they won't leave this to go and attack that. Like it's got to be really close to where they are before they'll actually engage. If I go to same location, it means that it will look after everything at the same bodies. So the planet and the moons will both be protected. So if you're really only wanting to look after a little area, you do that with same location. Same system, of course, means anything in the actual system itself, they'll just go off and look after those. In fact, I better go through every single one of these fleets and set this up manually because I set these fleets up a bit more manually at the start. So just go to 4th. So nearby is what I do want. Formation will be normal, which actually I might make it tight, just so that I'm going to put tight on everything until we start seeing a reason not to. And it's going to retreat when the enemy strength is 50% or greater. That's fine for that particular fleet. Let's just go through each one of these. So the first fleet is now ready to go, and I'm going to set the tactics here to be same system. So they're going to protect the actual individual systems. Formation again will be tight. The the reason I like having tight, it means that when they fire, they all tend to be firing very close to each other. So the damage that comes in, particularly when you're assaulting and taking over something, it means you're getting a lot of firepower at one go. And particularly if you're doing assaults with assault transports, you can actually then very quickly get your troops onto the actual enemy ships. So, and again, retreat, I might make it when it's 100% greater. We'll just go that way. So we're overriding the settings that were set up originally. The second fleet is still being built. This one here is going to be same system, formation tight. That's all okay. The third fleet is going to be, again, just set the tactics, same system, tight, and 100% greater. That's going to be fine as well. So what I'll do with these is we've got them being built all over the place. We do actually have a world out this other side where we don't actually have actually that's interesting, we don't actually have a spaceport. Now, we do want to have, we've got a lot of shortages in through here. We may not be able to build a spaceport here effectively, but let's just see if we can. So let's just go across into here. We can do a research. No, we can't do the research station there. We've got 19,000. If I go back into build new ship or base, so we're missing like this, this one here, we're missing 163 steel. The other one, which is also SSP, this is another thing I hope that they change soon. They're both called SSP2, but they're actually two different types of designs for the spaceports. And so what I like to do is have like an entry-level spaceport, and I might go and do that one now just to allow me to build without actually having all of the resources that we require, because I do want to have one of the fleets stationed over through here, because this is going to be sort of susceptible to invasions and pirates and so on and so forth. So what we'll do with the let's see, the Elotaris system is essentially just to go back in, and if we go back into ship designs, you can see I've got like a spaceport and a spaceport version 2, but it still calls it SSP2 in both instances, but they have completely different designs. One of them has got a much lower cost, and also has a much smaller size capability. So Dom is saying, is the steel the main cause of not being able to build something? Because I build things and then get the resource shortage and it's so confusing. Okay, let me go through, I'll go through in detail what we're going to do here. I need to build a spaceport here. I've got 2 billion Mortallans on this world and no spaceport, which is actually not good. I like to be building my spaceports pretty much from around about 300 to 500 million on the actual, 300 to 500. So when it gets to about 3 to 500 is when I like to start to build the spaceports. In this case, we just don't have the ability. So when we have a look at the resource shortages, I can click on that one and then scroll down, and we can see there, this is what it wants, this amount, but it's only got this amount. And as we come back down through to steel, it's wanting 2,361 is what it wants, but we only have 140. So we have very limited steel through here. Now, there's a few things we can do. You can see it's also building a small freighter. Now, it's actually, we've got everything paused, so things aren't sort of running away. The freighter is going to, like, and this is how you can sort of you can micromanage these little aspects a little bit. So if we go back into, so with what we actually have with our resource shortages, so the steel, we've got 140. We required, if you just go back into ships designs, it was a small freighter, which is this one through here, is the one that was being built. If we go and edit this design, so this is what's being built on that particular planet. So it's being built on the surface of the planet, like what we do here on Earth right now. We don't build things in space, so we don't actually have spaceports. We build on the actual planet, and then we send it up into space, which is what they're going to be doing in here as well. When we come down the bottom here, every single component that's over here has got, you can see there, this proton engine is 6 steel, 6 carbonite, 3 polymer. And so when we scroll down the bottom through here, we see that there's 119 steel here in this particular ship. Now, they won't start building until they've got the resources available on the planet. So it's planet by planet. If we just go and cancel that one. So if I want to build a small spaceport, the fastest way for me to do that is to just go and think, okay, well, what did I need to build it? I needed 68 and I needed 163 there. So I'd prefer to be building a bigger one if I can do it. But if I can't, I can at least build 68 because that other one is worth 100 odd steel to me. So if you have a look again at the shortages, what do we have? We have 140 there anyway. So if I stop the building of that freighter and just cancel it, basically cancel the order, that's which we don't get to control anyway. So this is the private sector doing this one. I can go to this one and actually just scuttle it, cancel construction. And what that's going to then do is that all of the steel that was a reserve for that build is now back in the reserves on this planet, which means when I have a look down through here again, my steel is now up to 259. Now, is that enough for me to build I can build this just a normal small spaceport. I still can't do this one. We're still missing 44 steel. So I could change the design to get the 44, but I don't need to. If I can start here, I can build the small one and then upgrade later. So I'm going to go and right click. Now, can I still do it? And I still can't do it because what I need to do is I need to make the other one obsolete. I'm getting really gamey now because I don't want to just have it go. I can just go and tell it to go and build any old place, which means it's going to randomly position it in through here. But what I'd like to do is, actually, do we have any? Oh, there's no resources there anyway. Okay, I was thinking if there was resources, I'd prefer to have it in the middle there. It doesn't really matter. I won't go through how to micromanage and position it exactly where you want. Well, actually, maybe I'll just quickly show you. If you go to ship designs, it will automatically be trying to build this one because that's the one that we're currently doing. If I set this one to manual and then make it obsolete, it means that the only active design that we have for spaceports is the small spaceport. And now if I go and click on it, I will just do it. If I now just go and click on the actual surface, instead of going through here and clicking on that one and randomly positioning it, if I go and click and then right click, I now get to place it wherever I like. So I'm going to place it there. So it's going to then be built on that angle because that's it. So you can sort of establish the angle that you want when you can only do these small spaceports. So this is a bit sort of, I hope I'm making sense with this one. Then I need to go back and I need to go back to all designs and then go back down to my SSP2, which I had set to manual and obsolete and make them active again. So I'm just going to go back to what they were before. So that just allows me to then position exactly where I want it to be built. Hope that makes sense, but that's why I've just done it that way. So with that done, let's just go to the third, which is this is at Strelor 4. We're going to change the home base into the Eotiaris 3 spaceport. So it's going to become the home base for that one. Now the third is set to automatically go and defend. So I don't have to tell it what to do. It's just going to go back there and then look after that system. The first is set for Strelor 4. You can see there that they're coming. This one is traveling. I don't know if it's traveling to go and retrofit. Actually, it's got no mission, so it must be coming back into here. And then the second is it to Algebia 2 spaceport. So these are all set to look after the same system at each of the 3 locations. So that's all we need it to do. So I'll just let that one go through. So Rick is saying Battle Sector, Age of Wonders 4. For me, Age of Wonders 4. Battle Sector is really getting much, much better. Actually, guys saying, is this stream covering the latest update or the stuff you were excited about but could not say? Yes, it is. And actually what it is, which we didn't actually go through, because I was going to wait till I was in game. What we have is, if we have a look at our empire, so this is actually the empire. So this is the Mortal and Baronial Union. We sort of skipped over what we actually had. So the changes we now actually have, if we have a look at the, where's the Mortlands? I'm not sure if we can see it in through here. That's the money, that's maintenance, it's government. So the feudalism is actually, this is really, really cool. This is new, that's come in. So the feudalism, we've got the upgraded militia. So defending militia troops are much stronger than usual, providing better defences against invaders. So essentially that's what that one is. The feudal obligation, double troop recruitment rate for 2 years after a war starts. So when we go to war with someone, we do get like double our troop recruitment. And then also privateer navy. So nobles within your empire will fund construction and operation of a small number of escorts to defend civilian shipping. These ships are funded from your private economy, purchase and maintenance. They cannot be manually controlled. So what we end up having is, we end up with a whole lot of ships, ultimately, if I just go back down to, say, all ships, I wonder if it doesn't show, you can't filter it by the ships that aren't part of it, but anything with a star is something that is being built. So these are all controlled not by us. These are controlled by the nobles in our empire. So these essentially are non-controlled escorts, which just go around and do whatever they want to do, essentially. So there's a whole range of them that are being built, and eventually there's going to be heaps of them all over the place. So that's really cool. The other thing we have that's really cool as well, if we just go and press F1 and then go down to where is it, the alien races, and then Mortallans. And so the Mortallans now have these special features. So these are all the extra things. We didn't go through this, but this has now all been added in. So when you declare war, obtain a 2-year boost to Mortallan population growth, along with your choice of either a large troop recruitment rate, a boost rate, or a troop attack strength boost. So when we declare war against another faction, for 2 years we have enhanced combat abilities, either through recruitment or through attack. So if we decide, for example, to take over an enemy empire, it may be best for us to wait until we've got like a full-on invasion force on the border and then send them in, because we get the boost for 2 years with them on the ground. So they actually fight better for 2 years. Patriotic Wave. When a war is declared on you, obtain a 2-year boost on the Mortallan population growth, along with your choice of either colony corruption reduction or war weariness reduction. So again, if war is declared against us, we can then sort of enhance that as well, and do things where we can either get more money or be able to sort of stay in the fight for much, much longer. So know your enemy. When you invade and conquer an enemy world, choose a 2-year boost to either espionage or counter-espionage or targeting and countermeasures. So we either do the subterfuge or the actual open things with our fleets. Prove yourself, so periodically choose between 2 characters from leaders, admirals and generals, to undergo a trial by arms. If successful, the selected character gains a positive trait, otherwise a negative trait. And then we have reinforced hulls. So and that's a bit like the Klingon thing with that sort of special, curved, I forget what they're called, Kablar or something, I forget what they actually are. So reinforced hulls. So all ships and spaceport hulls have +1 reactive armor rating. This is going to make us really strong against railguns. So railguns railguns are like machine guns, and so anything that does like high damage but with small pellets, which is what a railgun does, is going to be less effective against our ships. So unique leader trait, so War Master, so +10% troop maintenance savings, +20% ship maintenance savings. We haven't seen that one yet. That's for the leaders. The admirals, Grand Admiral, so +10 weapons damage and 10 targeting as well, if we can get a Grand Admiral trait. These are unique for the Mortallans. And then Disciple of War is for the generals, so +20% troop attack strength and 10% troop maintenance savings. Then unique ambassador trait, intimidating presence. We end up with another +10% diplomacy by being intimidating. So they're unique for us, and this is actually really cool just for the Mortallans. So you combine that with the uniqueness for the feudalism, and we've got a really interesting now mix of different things happening in the game. It's very, very cool. And of course with the new borders as well. That's really cool as well. So we've got everything sort of is heading in the right direction with the game, which is really, really, really great actually to see it. The frigates are still being constructed, so the second fleet is still actually trying to get constructed. The third fleet is a little bit better. It's being constructed back over here. Ultimately what will happen is with these will then go back off and just go back to their locations. We don't have to micromanage them if we're using these fleet templates and the fleet settings down through here. So when it's got a role, we can actually go back to manual, but if we just keep it on that role, it will look after everything in that system. So it stops the micromanagement. And because we're using the fleet templates, if I do need to top up, if I need to sort of change what happens with the actual ships themselves, it will then do that as well. So this one here, for example, is heading down to its home base. This is part of the, oh, hang on, this is under feudal control. This one's just going off to do its own thing. I've got no control over that. So I don't know if we'll find another pirate, but it would be good if we could find one, so we can sort of take some ships out. Money situation is positive. Might just see what I need to be able to then go and get a crash research on this one, because it's going to cost. Okay, we need 115,000, which is a bit much. Actually, one thing I will do, the next one I want to get is to make the planets happier. Happy planets means more money, so we'll pay the cost for that. And we'll just get it queued up. Now, I've got my spy set to automatic. Oh, we don't have a spy. I thought we did. That's right. The other when we started the other one, we got a spy. Not this time. So, guys, in saying, does the update flush out any other of the starting races, and when will this version be available? It's available right now. I showed before, actually. I'll just go back and show it again. If you're wanting to play it, if you've got the game, go to Steam. Go to your library, go to Distant Worlds, right-click on it, go to Properties, go to Betas, and choose from the drop-down Beta 1.2.0.8. But if anything that says Beta, grab that, because that's the open beta for the game. It's not a closed beta, so it's an open beta that you can then go and play. So that will then load in essentially what we're doing through here. So if you do that, you can then play with all these extra bits and pieces. This is what I've been waiting for, actually. You see Dom UK saying it's also available in the GOG version. I installed it today. Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job of keeping the Matrix version, the Steam version, and the GOG version all up to date. So they all seem to sort of work through there. So the Vanilla Races overhaul is out, only for the Mortallans and for the humans, but not for the other. There's still another 5 to go. The next ones that are coming, I forget what they are. I think it might be the boss. It's definitely the Boscara, but it's either the Xenox or the Teekans as well with them as well. So it takes me a little while to flesh the things out. But I'm assuming that when the next, if it is the Xenox, actually someone I think did say Xenox. If it's the Xenox, I would assume that we're going to end up with more changes to the to Technocracy as a government type as well. Okay, so need the Galaxy client to install betas on GOG. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play GOG games really at this stage. Actually, I'll just unpause. Now it wants to build a colony ship. Okay, we didn't check this before. And a small construction ship. Before we do that, let's have a look and see. So these are the potential colonies. Now we do actually have one there, which is inside the systems. That's actually not bad. And then we have one that's outside the systems, but would be, if we get this one, we can then get that one as well. So that would be good. So that's just outside of our range. And again, this is where we can use the measuring tool. Like at the moment, I've got a problem where I've got to, is there anything else worth getting? These are all under 20. We want to stay really on the 20s if we can. But yeah, I'm happy enough to get that one. So if I press shift and click on this is my closest world. If I just go and click on that one and have a look and think, okay, look, I can get to there. That's 82M, but out to here is 165. Now I've got a limit of 150. I can get to there, but if I take this one, I can then go and click from that one to this one, and then that one's within the range as well. So I can start to sort of move my way out into this region of space. So we will go and do that. We'll say yes. That's fine, and then we'll just go this way as well and build the ships. And so in the Bispin system or the Eurolon system, wherever it was, that's where we're going to be sort of going with things. So that will be fine. Now Quiltus, we do want to take this one over. We're going to take this one over by force. If we just go back across into these and through this other side. Now we do actually have a few of the others as well. Yeah, these are not going to. It's going to take forever for these to come good. We will attack this one. So the fourth. Still got to wait for this one to be built up. Just have to build these ships, and then we need to also at Algebia, once we actually finish off building the these. Yeah, this one's still under construction, the cloning facility, and then we'll need to get the armor barracks as well. So this is where we're going to be building most of the stuff. Okay, so we play the GOG version through Steam on Linux because it sets up the Proton compatibility layer. I don't know that at all. All is mine. Just saying, can anyone suggest a good beginner's guide video? I did a series of videos actually where I just cover the basics and then go into detail later in the video. So you can watch like the first couple of minutes of the videos and just get an overview of things, and then just go to the next one. So there's like a playlist if you're interested. So that was just like one where I just sort of started to go through how to basically play the game, what to look for, and things like that. But really, it's the secret to playing the game is not to think that you have to do much. You really don't have to do. There we go. We've now finished this little spaceport, so that one's now been done. Now, what we can do ultimately is to upgrade it, so retrofit, but we're missing steel and polymer now. New admiral has now appeared. I'm going to go and grab that admiral. Again, I don't have to do this. I can just let him. He's on automatic anyway. But with the admiral, I'm going to set him to manual, and I'm going to tell him to go to the First Fleet, and we'll transfer him across. New troop transport is completed, but think of the game as a simulation. That's really what it is. It's a simulation game, and you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. It'll literally look after itself. But there's stuff that's happening all the time, and it's a massive, like, this is the galaxy. There's all this stuff's going on as well. There's all sorts of different things going on all over the place. Now we've got these as well. It's a long way off, but would then sort of put us in conflict potentially with the Quamino. We're nice and compressed in here, which is actually good. This is going to then sort of force us out out away from ourselves. This is the colony ships which is being built. Yeah, still under construction. It's actually now, this one's actually, I might just go and show you this. This is actually now the actual ship itself. If I just go and press L, it will then lock in on that particular colony ship. This has just been constructed in space around this particular world, around Algebia 1. And so we've now got the colony ship. As I let it come up, it's full of fuel. It's got the energy coming through. There's heaps and heaps of Mortallons now being settled on this particular ship. So they're all being loaded in. It's up to about 30 million. So I'll just keep on sort of loading. That's what these little transports are. 12 million, there we go. Actually, no, it's still going up, 14 million. It'll get up to about 30. So they're taking it from this particular world. If I press tab, I can then sort of come down on different angles as well. I've got like different sorts of things I can sort of have a bit of a look at. It's a beautiful game. Like, it's such a beautiful game. Now, we found ourselves a research station. Always grab these. Always get them, wherever they are. But you may need to get something else. So this one is actually now coming back in. Now it's got no mission there, but it's set to auto. Now it's going to basically be looking for somewhere to settle. The game actually said, should we build the ship? And the reason it said to build it was because we do actually have a potential colony for it. I'll just go back to face north, just so we can keep it so we're looking at the same sort of range. Now what I can do is I can just go back into the potential colonies that we had, and so that one there is it's over 20, which is good, and so this one is also a fairly big diameter, and then that will then open up the other one as well. So let's just go and build the colony ship and colonize. We'll just go and do that one, and then that one should end up with this colony ship being set to go and locate and go to that one there. Come on. It will just take a few turns. There we go. So it's now colonizing Eurolon 4. Again, we don't have to do it. It'll just do it anyway. Send the Express Wanderer. Yep, so I'll assign the mission, which, like, it was going to ask us anyway if that was what should happen. So that's all good. So that's our next colony. Now, the colonies do drain, but we've got a lot of money coming in. So everything is looking pretty damn good. We've got new troop transports, new frigates coming in. We have to let the private sector just come back with different resources. They're bringing back, this one's bringing back carbonite, for example, from this location. So the mining will just keep on going on automatically. We don't have to worry about that one. So it just looks after itself. Radigar was saying they're just such ugly ships, the poor space frogs. look, the Mortland ships have actually had a bit of a like the actual the detail on them has actually been improved a bit as well with this release. I know what you mean. They look a bit like bricks, but they have been improved. So this is our colony ship going off. Now this is Arai 6. The Arai Council Dominion. Where's that one? Yep, this is the Aquamino back in through here. These are ultimately they're going to be enemies of us. Yeah, this is Gizarians, wasn't it? They're going to be an enemy of us as well. Now they may decide to come and take these particular worlds, so we're probably going to need to get ourselves another fleet. So let's just go and build yet another fleet. We'll just go into our fleet areas, go back into our fleet management, the fleet templates, go to a defence fleet, and we can build a new defence fleet and we can just go to any construction yards in the Empire. So I'm just going to go and do that. And what that's doing is it's now going across and building it from wherever it can possibly find it. Now, it didn't have enough resources to build them everywhere, but these are being built all over the place. This is going to be Control 5. And ultimately, that's going to be ending up being set over at the Irulan system. So it will look after this region of space. So Wiggly is saying, I really like the look of their ships. Yeah, also like the large slots on escorts. Yeah, bricks make sense for warriors. Pretty brutal throwing a brick at someone. That's just Dom UK. Some of these ship designs look great. But yeah, the Mortlands don't look as cool as I guess they could. I guess but they're certainly strong looking. I mean, I think the Akdarian ships are my favourite looking ships. Yeah, that's just bonuses. We're not going to get much from the bonuses. So these are all just little, we don't control these freighters. They're just going off to mine different locations. Way back over here. Construction ship now completed. A stone tower. Now this is, if we have a look at this one through here, this is actually one that we've now come across. We've discovered the stone tower, ancient ruins. So this ship has now flown close enough to this planet to then find an ancient artifact on it, or ancient ruins. Ancient ruins from a lost civilization of the ice tundra planet of Yed Posterior 2 in the Yed Posterior system. From our position in orbit, we can see that the ruins lie deep in snowdrifts at the peak of the windswept mountain pass. Should we investigate? Yes. And in this case, system maps were then revealed. So they've sort of gone on, they've done like a landing party, gone in, and they've found detailed maps of 5 surrounding systems. These ruins provide the following Empire-wide bonuses, so military ship maintenance savings. We have to be on these, we have to actually settle this world, and we don't have the capability to do that. These ruins provide the colony bonuses as well. So we can acquire scenery bonuses by building a resort base here. And so we can't do anything else other than get the resort base. So it's sort of okay, but it's not great for us. But we do end up with just a bit more information about some of the other systems. Now this is the colony ship. And this one's been set to just go off, and actually that's a heavy escort. That's interesting. How did that one get built? How did that one miss? It's on auto. Hang on, I might just pause that for a second. I didn't think we had any of these ships around that weren't. I'll just go to ships that are not in a fleet. Well, that's actually what we should do is add that one to the 5th Defence Fleet. So we'll just go and throw that one in. So if we go to 5, yeah. So we needed to get more ships anyway. If I top up with the ship with fleets, sorry, the fleet with ships, and I will just tell it to go back and retrofit. So it's going to head back off now and retrofit. So this one somehow sort of got through my radar. It will build more construction ships. New escort completed. That's good. So we'll just keep on letting these things get built. We still don't have enough. We'll be sort of short on steel, I would imagine. These groups are now coming back across. This particular fleet is now just automatically coming back into the Ayotara system. And then these are just being built, getting ready for when this one actually does colonize this other world. Okay, so how are we going with our fourth? Okay, this one's now ready to go. Let's have a look and see if we've got the ability to build the actual invasion forces now. Yeah, we've got this one built, the cloning facility, but we don't have... Actually, the armor is also now ready to be able to be built as well. So if we just go back into manage troops, and we're going to go and say maybe grab, say, 3 of those. So I'll just queue them up and just cloning in, which we can build very, very quickly. Just get another 4 of those. So we'll start to sort of build this one up. And then the that 4th fleet we can then take over these Boscara. Okay, so Buckley Gaming said, do you ever use the ship travel vectors for military ships? I find it super useful for tracking what military are doing. I do a little bit, but not too often. That's where's that one there? I forget where it is. I hardly ever do it. I've got the ship travel vectors for selected ship only. I can do it for, again, military ships in through here, which is what you're sort of suggesting. But we're not going to see much with these vectors at this stage because they're not really off doing anything. There's no big movements. Let's go to all ships. You can see everything just really sort of going in with all the different movements. But I'll just go back to selected ships only. Which means that when I select a ship, it will then show what it's doing. New escort completed as well. That's in the 5th, I think. Or is it still the 2nd? The 2nd is still being built. Okay, we haven't had any threats at this stage. Discovery, more scenery. That moon. New frigate completed. Now we don't want our empire too big, but if we can take this location out through this side, we'll end up controlling all of this away from, get it away from these guys. Now this is not their capital, so they must be further around the corner here. We just don't know where they actually are. Yeah, Buckley's saying, yeah, I love to be able to see where the military are moving. In our case, we're not going to have to worry about it too much. Just wait for this ship to get into the Uralon system. So it's got 30 million colonists at this stage. Oh, hang on. So Guy Bell will be saying, have you tried the mod that changes the ship's components? That is from the same modder as the resource mods that you like. I gave it a thumbs up. Okay, yeah, I've looked at it, but I haven't actually put it in there. I try not to put anything too much into it unless it really is helpful. I like the naming because that just changes the names. It makes them sort of a bit more cooler than the default. And I like the resources one because it does make it easier for players to actually be able to understand what's going on with the resources, because there's so many resources in the game. And so the construction resources are just, standard sort of background, but the luxuries have got like different abilities, different things. You can see there the colours underneath certain resources, but at a glance you can then tell the luxuries have got the backgrounds. The ones that without backgrounds are construction resources that we require for different things. New escort again. So the 2nd is now ready to go. Now these are set to the Algebia 2 spaceport, so they'll move back there. The 1st is set to Strelor 4, which is fine. That's got the Admiral on board. So then we've got the... now we're still 15%. Yeah, that one's still not going to be enough money. Now this one is going to the Arii. Yeah, so this is the Quamino, and they're going to be struggling a fair bit with this virus. Not that it worries us. Here we go. So we've actually now found the Quamino cartel has been encountered. This is actually a group of pirates. We're not going to be friendly with these. So this pirate faction is predominantly composed of Quaminos. This Quamino are naturally hostile towards us. They are unlikely to be useful allies. Initial communications with the Cominos have been catastrophically bad. A poor translation of our standard greetings in their language mistakenly invited the Cominos to become our slaves. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So we'll just go and dismiss that. Now, they're over through here at this stage. So we've just come across them in here. If we have a look and see... Unknown ship. Actually, I don't know where they actually are. Did find them in there. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Let's wait for them to come. They'll end up coming to our, like, and attacking different locations. New frigate completed. These are just pirate ships looking for. Here we go. So they're coming in. Now they're coming after our mining ships. We don't actually have a presence in here, so we haven't built anything at this location. But these will get closer and closer. And let's have a look and see what they've got. These are just going to be. This is just a heavy escort, and so this one has got iron shielding, Acceleros engines, which is one thing we would like to try to get hold of. Heavy armor. It's got the bubble shields, which are really, really good shields. But these are only small ships, and so if they come into one of our systems, one of our core systems, we're going to be able to gobble these up pretty quickly. So I might even build myself when I can get it. I might just have a look and see if I can crash this one first. Yeah, 100,000. We still don't have enough. But we'll wait and see what they do. So they're going to be attacking our mining ships. And then we'll go after them. We'll allow the construction ships to be built. Sorry if I've missed a lot of the comments, guys. Just do an @DAS tactic, and that way it'll show up in red. I still may miss it. I was thinking, do I carry on watching or go and try it out? It's a lot of great stuff has been added to this. Really a lot of flavour, and the combination of the race now with the government type with all these other different bonuses really does make the game like exponentially more interesting to play. So we're under attack through here where the pirates are going to be attacking, jumping away. We've taken a bit of damage. Come on, get away, get away. Okay, we got away there and got away with the other one as well. Okay, so accept trade. So they're offering us a, we'll accept that one. Again, it just makes them happier. So they're now heading back. They're just escaping from that location. I'm not going to go after them at this location unless I can build another fleet. There's more mining ships coming across. There we go. Actually, the new colony has now been founded on this particular rocky desert planet. Now we've got enough to be able to then go and build another colony ship, and if we do it, we're going to have to go back out over to here. Now I've got the fifth fleet is now ready to go, so I'm going to go and tell it that this is actually now its new home. And so set the home base for and this one is already set to defend, so it'll automatically just go back out there. Dismiss that one. New escort completed. Okay, so we'll leave them where they are. That will then give us, like ultimately this will then be built up, and we'll be able to do a bit more through there. Let's have a quick look and see if we've now got anything built back on this world. They're still building this one up, 86% with the Conqueror force. So they're slowly building up in through here. What we should find is they should be coming. The pirates should be arriving at the Strelor system or the Eotara system fairly soon. Okay, now we've got a frigate is under attack. There we go. So it's now they've now come into here, which is great. So this is exactly what we want. New escort is now completed. Dismiss that one. And just have a quick look and see what's actually happening in through here. So when we zoom out, this is the easiest way to just see what's going on. Just go to the system and then you'll see any extra ships. So 2 escorts have come in. They're both coming in around this particular location. This is actually the location, our fleets are now going off. We've got the, this is all part of the first fleet. This is the second fleet. And what's the first fleet doing over here? The second, they should be set up in different locations. The second should be there. The first should be at Strelor 4. Oh, these are set to manual, that's why. Just put them back to defend. That way they'll go back and... yep, that's it. They will eventually, once they do this attack, because they've sort of set themselves up to attack these different ships. If we come back in, I'm going to put this one in half pace, and I'll just go through blow by blow what's going to be happening in this particular fight. So these group have come in. It looks like the second have now gone in after these particular ships. And so this is the hunter of... sorry, this is a Sly Turmoil. It was going after this hunter of Porrima, and it's trying to take out the... it's trying to raid this resort base back over through here, which is reasonably strong. So the second is all these ships in through this other side, and there's still got another one in through here as well, which is part of the first fleet. But let's just grab the second and go after this ship in through here. So we're going to start off by just attacking. So these are nice and close. And what's going to happen is they're going to then attack it. Now the beams that we see through here, see how it's coming from that part of the ship? This is our actually that's a torpedo frigate. That shouldn't have... Oh, it's actually... That doesn't make sense. Oh, hang on, maybe it's attacking us. No, it looks like it's coming from there. Oh, it's coming from the middle. It's the middle actually. I'm just... What it is if I zoom around... Oh no, it is actually... it is targeting us. It's targeting our torpedoes, which are also now coming out. So that one is being fired from the back here at our torpedoes. This one here is using... actually, this one's also being attacked there as well for some reason. Maybe I'm a bit confused as to what's going on here. What's this one got? It's got the sentinel beam at the back, which is what we saw there, sort of attacking us. Again, doesn't make a lot of sense because it's got the different area they can attack into. Anyway, we'll just let it go forward a little bit and just see what actually happens. Now we're trying to attack it with iron weaponry to bring it down. Yeah, and there's the back of the ship with the that does actually have the sentinel beam. So the yellow beams are sentinel beams. The red beams are our Thuon beams, and then these are the torpedoes. And so this thing will have its shielding will start to come down pretty quickly because there's so many ships coming up against it. And it will then start to run. Now it wants to build a mining base. I'll assign that mission. That'll be okay. So you can see there, again, it's just getting ready for the Thuon beams. That's the Thuon beams going back in. And so these are the heavy escorts. And again, we just want to wait for the shielding to drop, and then it should run. And these little things here are iron cannons, which will then disable the ship. And it's our frigates that will be doing the damage with those. Thuon beam coming in. So we're trying to hit it with the iron cannon there just went in. And you can see there's a couple in that disabled column where one of the weapons is down, one of the sensors is down. But the important thing is its shielding is now down. So we're now going to tell all of our ships that are in here, like the frigates, to now go and assault this thing. So I'm just going to go back into the second, and we're going to tell it to capture. And so what they're now going to do when I unpause this is they're going to then send in... These are all away teams going in on the actual ship itself. So they're all landing in. And still a few other things coming back in. And at this point now we have 342 against 291. Now we should be able to take that one over fairly readily. We've still got this one coming back over this side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the first, which is still in the system, to go after the other ship. So So I'm going to give it orders. Now it's going to move around very, very slowly. So I'll go to the attack. I'm just going to keep these ones doing what they're doing back over through here. So they're now just positioning themselves ready to go back on board again. But we should be able to capture this one without too much problem. Okay, so build. It wants to build another colony ship and a construction ship. I'll actually build those ships. I'll allow that to happen because we do know it wants to colonize that other world. Now this is a fighter craft, I think. Yeah, basic fighter. I don't know where that one's coming from actually. Oh, from here. This one does actually have some fighter craft. Now the trouble with that is it doesn't know that we're trying to capture this, so it's probably going to come after this one and try to destroy it. So we want to take it over before it can do that if we can. Leave it alone. Pain in the ass. So it's just going to be peppering away, doing a little bit of damage. Now if we go back to the second again, we still don't have any boarding assault strength, but I might send them off up to this one now. We'll just go and attack. I can't do the capture until we get boarding assault strength. This one I'm pretty sure it's not going to be able to do much. Yeah, we've got enough there to be able to take that one on. Let's just go back up to normal speed. So every single ship design, every single ship, every single bullet basically is modelled with what it does do. Yeah, we will get that one. In the meantime, the forces as we go through the actual ship itself, everything in blue means it's been pulled offline, and so the Marines we have on board are going through and actually taking everything offline as they're on board. They're also their crew is fighting back, but we've got enough of boarding strength on there to be able to take the ship. So it does sort of, it means that they can't really do anything once we sort of get going. Everything is being offline, everything's been pulled offline, so it's basically dead in the water. If they can push our guys off, they can then bring everything back online and escape. But that's not really going to happen. This is part of the first. I might just move that one out of the way. Okay, we've got the 5th Defence Force to attack. Hang on, what is it? Yeah, so we've just taken this one to attack the Retribution of Parima of the Quimino Cartel at Strelor 4. So they're attacking again. This is so the first really need to go back across. So we actually left Strelor unprotected. There's a couple of them in here, just little escorts. So we'll go and attack that one with the first. And we've actually got still some ships over through here as well. This is the 5th, which was just being built up. We hadn't sent that one off yet. So this one is still actually around. So we can go off and attack these as well. So we've got pirates going all over the place at this point in time. Just move this one around so we can sort of see what's going on. These guys, the 4th Invasion, is doing what? Loading troops at Strelor 4, yeah. So they're actually now loading up. So I'll get ready. Okay, so let's just go back in and watch this particular fight. It's the closest one. There's another pirate ship coming back in as well. New general has appeared. Oh, this is a interesting one where we can get extra hyperdrive research. So I'll dismiss that one, but I will just go back in and tell it to build that. Oh, hang on, we can't. Missing steel. It's okay. So we're coming in. And we want to get the little blue ones to disable it. We missed. Okay, it's trying to jump away. The second still doesn't have enough in through here. The boarding assault strength has still not come back up. So this one may destroy it. If it can jump. Actually, hyperdrive has now been offline, but that's because, yeah, we did actually knock it out. Either destroyed it or Actually, we disabled it for 35 seconds. Here we go. We're starting to now get the boarding assault strength. I'm now going to tell this one to go and capture. So as they come on board, they will then start to send in more capturing pods. There's more ships now coming back in the other side. Now, I've only got one little group there. There goes more. So we'll start to be able to take that one on now. Alright, so we've got another one back over this other side. This is only another heavy escort, so we'll just go back to the second again and just tell it to go after this one here. So that should be enough for us to take this one out. Now we do actually have this one, and I'm going to tell it to, I can tell it to retire at Algebia 1, which I'll do. So it's now just going to retire at the world, and so it's going to be pulled apart for technology. As soon as that one, if we can pull that one down before it can jump, it got away, unfortunately. Construction is now complete. All right, so they're sort of they've been attacking us in force, but they're not going to be able to do much with us. So back in through here again. Here they come. So we've got the the fifth is now coming back in to take these on. Okay, they've escaped. And we don't know exactly where they're going. Like if we have a look, see how they're moving from there. Now they moved from this location where the fifth was. Where were they? It was in that sort of line. They've got to be further away. I don't know where their jump location actually is. Alright, so the first is now coming back home, and we'll just tell it to go back into a defensive role. The second, go back into a defender role. The third is already in the defender role. The fourth is heading off. This one is set to Urulon 4. We'll make that one go into a defensive role as well. And so they'll now just automatically sort themselves out without us needing to do too much. But these fleets are strong enough against those little ships. That's not too bad. Hi, Bye Red. How are you going? And availability. Xenix is saying, did they fix the performance? They did that a long time ago, actually. So they did it a fair way. Yeah, Fredigar saying, fighter pilots always after the glory. Yes. There we go. We've actually now captured the other one as well. So if we go and if we have a look at this one here, we'll just go and dismiss that. Now I don't want to be building all this stuff. Yeah, I don't need to, so I'm going to decline that. I wish that these were separate or had tick boxes. Would be better. Okay, I'll assign the mission. Looks like there's another ship in through here. No, there's nothing there. There's a threat coming in by the looks of things, potentially. Just pause that for a second again. Now with the we've got the cash flow is actually very good. Now I'm just going to go and crash this research, so I'm going to pay for this one, and that way we get it twice as fast, and it's also then secure. It won't then collide. As we pull apart, we're going to then get the Acceleros engines. We're going to get pretty much stuff that it's had on board. The next level of fission reaction. Nothing much up this way. So we'll start to sort of pick apart their tech a little bit in the improved frigates, which is good. So we can still start to get a little bit of headway with as we pull apart the pirate ships, which would be great. Exit the research. Build ships. This is going to get annoying. Actually, I'll build those. I'm happy enough with those. And the colony ships. I thought we were going to build one of them. Yeah, this has only got one infantry on board. Coming in to pick up more troops. They're going back to Algebia 1. So they're just on automatic, just trying to pick up any spare troops that aren't required. If you've got a blue underline, it means they're there for garrison duties. And so it's going back to Algebia 1. Now we're building extra ships at Algebia 1. Actually, not so much these. Yeah, these are going to be picked up. Here we go. Prove yourself. The time has come. This is one of these new things that have come up. Time has come for a trial of arms for one of your people. Proving themselves in combat can add a new beneficial trait to a character, because also discover their flaws, adding a negative trait. We selected 2 candidates for this trial. First, Lord Sabi Sidai and Admiral Suido Makatar. You must select the candidate. I think we'll go with the Admiral. Just I don't really want the First Lord can do it. Oh, actually, maybe. I don't know. The Admiral would be handy to just have, like, it wouldn't matter if he had negatives on the Admiral, but it will with this one here. But if this one's a positive, it could be empire wide. We'll go that way. So First Lord Sidai has acquired a new trait, Tolerant. So this is actually where he is. Dismiss that one for a second. If we have a look and see, First Lord has got, so he's now got Tolerant down through here. So he has extra trade income, extra diplomacy, so nothing great. Generous, measured, lawful, and protectionist. That's okay. He's acquiring new traits anyway. Okay, that's fine. Yep, we'll build that ship as well. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we're protecting this world as we build it up. Just grab myself a drink of water. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, this is under this is one that we can't control. It's just wandering off, doing its own thing, escorting different other ships. That one there is also under feudal control, so we don't have control over those ships. I love this. I love this aspect now. It's actually really quite cool. It's just part of the 5th, so it's going over to Urulon. Let's send that one to the 4th Invasion Fleet. Yes, transferring to the ships really should be part of the. Actually, that'll be okay. If it's on a troop transport, it will then land when the troops land. Now we need to have enough troops when we do go in to be able to really sort of dominate the planet. Now Algebia 2 is. I can turn these off so that they basically are not going to be garrisons. So I can ungarrison that one, for example. I don't want these forces to be garrisoned. Looks like that the 4th may have picked up. Yeah, it's picked up 4 infantry and 1 armor. So we have so we can do a little bit more through there. Now they're still going to Strelor 4. Let's just go back and tell it to load troops at Algebia 2. So they're going to pick this one up. This one is 24%. And that'll be enough for us to take over that world. Wouldn't mind maybe just a little bit more garrison type troops. Oh, that's nice as well. Dismiss. We'll just see if we can actually grab that one. Oh, we're missing steel. So steel is a big problem for us. Well, I've sort of built too many combat ships at this point in time. I'd like to know where those pirates are from. They must be down here somewhere, in close to this group, possibly even inside their territory. They're transporting between these locations. This one's now expanded out this way. Build the mining station. We'll assign those. Actually, I should really be building, like we have all these little mining ships going off to mine different locations. Actually, that's going off to mine a asteroid, which means that it's going to be able to mine fairly quickly. And this is what we want. We want the Mebnar and we want the steel. So we'll assign that mission. And this one here, resort station, not critically important for us. So I'll decline that one. Build ships. Yep, I'll build the exploration ships and construction ships. I will turn it off when it starts to become too annoying. Kaizing crystals and polymers. Yep, we'll assign that mission as well. That's back in our Strelos home system. Yep, under feudal control there again as well. Be cool if the feudal controls had another little designation, you know, so you can sort of tell that they're like even if it had the little lines coming out from each of the triangular sides, just so you knew it was if it was a feudal ship. But I like the changes that they've brought in. This is such a great update. Again, you need to you just need to turn on the open beta to be able to then play it. Frigates, no, decline that. So we're discovering more things with the explorer ships as they come through. The fourth is now set to manual control. Let's put that one back to invasion. It's just going to keep on going and trying to pick up. It's just going back to load troops again. Algebia 1. So they're building troops here, but they don't need as many for what they have to be doing, so they're picking up another troop in through there. This should be enough for us, I think, to be able to then go off and take control of the Quilter system. It does want to, like, some of these things are useful. Sometimes it's useful to have a look and see what it's wanting to do. Let's go and get some fuel tankers. That's what we can afford, actually. Let's go and purchase that. Now, this is getting annoying with what it's doing, so I'm just going to go and tell it to stop doing that now. Let's go back to our policies. And ship construction, I'll just now going to set that one to manual. That way it won't interrupt me. So 5% colony development. This is all good stuff, finding these. So we've got a research station there already. So we've already got that one. Then we've got these Boscara on the actual world itself. And we will actually try to take these ones on. Oh, so now this one's now hit our home systems. It's going to then start to cause issues. Assign that mission. And new construction ship completed. What I'm going to do also is I'm just going to go back into policies and turn on base construction. I don't want them to ask me, just build whatever bases you want. We're now big enough and happy enough for that to be the case. So the fourth has got enough, we've got 1,477. And this one has got no troops, but he hardly has anything actually. So let's just go and attack this world with the fourth. Just going to attack Quiltus 1. Now it's going to affect our reputation negatively. So we'll take this world on. Okay, so Silas is saying, "Hey, Daz, could you give me a short list of the good stuff in this update, please?" I'll just read a few more of the comments. I was playing as humans and I'd like the new bonuses for colonising continental worlds. Clever way to make humans. Yeah, it is actually. It's very, very cool. Trip the Snake is saying, yeah, okay, why it's the biggest update so far. Just because of all the little, I'll go through all the little things. Well, they're not even little. Like when you look at them all combined, it's really, really quite cool. And Dom is saying, Intrepid's kind of like a free DLC. They've updated humans and mortals in similar ways that they made the races in the DLCs. So yeah, it doesn't. Unfortunately, on Twitch, I get a bell that tells me that somebody's actually typed my name. I don't get that here. I'm sorry, guys. So anyway, I'll just pause for a second and I'll just go through the. So the changes are, in a nutshell, we now have borders, so we can sort of see the borders much more clearly when we actually when we come up against other factions. So, for example, you look at these two factions in through here, different factions and our own faction. The colour is very similar, particularly with these two. We'll now be able to see the difference because we'll see the border, which is great. That's just a tiny little thing, but it makes such a massive difference. That's one thing. The other thing is that, as was mentioned, the Mortallans, and if I just press F1, so, and just go back down to the alien races. So these are the, not all of these are playable at this stage. They'll be bringing more in as well over time. So I think the Wekaris are coming next time. But it was like the Dayots had come in with special features. The Gizarians had come in with special features. These were coming in through DLC. And this is such a cool way to actually make them more unique, the way that they sort of then played. But now the original ones that came through, like the Akdarians, don't have it yet. I think the Artuk is coming next as well, actually, So they're going to be coming. So they will eventually be a playable race. So the Boscara don't have it yet, but they've brought the humans in. So this humans has now got like a heap of stuff. And what was just mentioned there was one of the really cool things is that when they go and go to new worlds, when you colonize or conquer a continental planet, you obtain a free random colonization tech advance, which means that if you go back into the technologies, it essentially means that they've got a chance every time that they colonize a continental world, they can pick up one of these techs for free every single time they do it, whether they colonize or conquer it. And so it means that they ultimately end up being able to colonize all sorts of different things through basically getting this sort of head start on this sort of tech, which is sort of an area that I never really focus on much because it's often quite expensive to get. But that's actually now something that the humans actually do get to do. So that's actually really, really cool. They've got all these other little extra things that actually happen, playing as the actual humans. So this change is one thing that's actually really cool. We're playing as the Mortallans because the Mortallans also have been fleshed out. So we actually have all these things like warrior waves when you declare war. When war is declared on you, you then have patriotic wave. Know your enemy when you invade and conquer an enemy world. Choose 2-year boost. Now I don't know if that's going to count for an independent world. We'll see what actually happens through there. Prove yourself. We had this one come up before. Periodically choose between 2 characters from leader and admirals and generals. Try and go trial up by arms. Reinforced hulls, so all ships and spaceport hulls have a +1 reactive armor rating, which means that they basically will reflect 1 point of damage that comes in against the actual hulls, which is actually fairly good. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it can make a big difference. And then we've got a whole lot of unique leader traits in through there. So this is one thing that's really quite cool. But then the other thing that they brought in as well with this particular beta, like this open beta version, is when you go to governments, they've now started to flesh these out really as well. Like, so we've got, for example, feudalism, which was what we're playing. Now has got upgraded militia, so our militia are now much stronger. So it's much harder for factions to go and fight on a feudalism world. So feudalism is the government type that we've chosen. We've got feudal obligation, so double the troop recruitment rate for 2 years after a war starts, and a privateer navy, so nobles within your empire will fund construction and operation of a small number of escorts to defend civilian shipping, which is what we're seeing in around here. If we have a look and we sort of notice that there's little ships floating around, like this one here is like you can see it says heavy escort under feudal control. We don't get to control it. It's just built by the feudal lords in the empire, and then they just look after that. There's another one in through there, and another heavy escort. So it just chooses the best of the escorts to, and it just builds them. Now, at the moment, we're running short on steel, so it hasn't built too many, but it will build more and more. And eventually we're going to have like almost these mini fleets, which will sort of help keep pirates and things at bay. So it's very, very cool the way it sort of does work. So that's just the feudalism. Then you've got things like Hive Mind has got like, I don't know if this was here before. So this one here, we've got war spawning, so population growth rate increases by plus 50% during wartime, which is massive. This one has got accurate hyper jump is doubled when exiting a jump at a location. So it means that when they're at war, essentially they're going to be able to. If you're exiting a jump at a location where your empire has established presence, so a colony or a base. So getting bases for the Boscara are now going to be fairly important. What else is there? Military dictatorship. We've now got war worlds where we get like a big boost to our production for a couple of years, reassuring security. So when the more troops we have on the colonies, the more happiness there is at the colony. So the more money we get. So that's very, very cool as well. Monarchy is coming in with flagships and always justified, so the wars can be declared any old time we like. So as a monarchy, we just arbitrarily do what we want to do, but the flagships then have other things as well. There's all this little extra stuff. It's really, really cool. So Dom is saying, yeah, the Hive Mind changes are new too. I think they are. I haven't seen them before, but I may have missed them. The others don't really have much. So the others will be fleshed out but this wasn't expected. So there's a few things in here that just weren't expected. Like I wasn't expecting the government types to be tweaked, but I'm really happy with that because it makes it so unique. And the government types combine that with the unique faction types, and you end up with a really, really interesting game. So feudalism for humans is going to be a bit different to feudalism for mortals because of the racial changes. So yeah, I'm really happy with what they've done here. This is for me the best update. It's really, really cool. Like it's amazingly good. So how's performance and stability, says Zenik? It's been good for a long time. So I have no problems with it. They focused very heavily on that for probably the first 12 months of since release, but it's been very stable and very quick now for an awfully long period of time, like for at least 2 or 3 major updates. So yeah, so if you had performance issues maybe 6 months ago, I'd definitely be playing it again because it's certainly that's had a lot of treatment. For example, like we've got a lot of ships even just moving around in here. It doesn't sort of stutter much. You know, when we sort of come in, there's ships moving around all over the place. Just go to where there's like a fair few ships doing stuff. Normally that would sort of stutter around, or it used to, but now it just does what it does. Yeah, it's really cool what they've done. Really cool. There goes our invasion fleet. Yeah, construction ship. It's just scenery. Accept trade, yes. Pay the money. Just missed that one. No, it's really, really good. And so Dom is saying it's good, Zenik, to the point I'm running it in Linux under Proton without any issues. There we are. Yeah, it's they really have focused very heavily on the I guess, you know, making sure that it is stable as their first priority. Now there's another ship, pirate ship. This is a fleet destroyer. Oh, this is the Preginus Force. This is our friends. These are our friendly pirates. They're just coming in from doing something else back in this region of space. So they're set up back over through here, but they're they eventually, we've got protection agreement with them. It's not enough. Yeah, we can't offer the non-aggression treaty. They will eventually get there, but it'll take a long time. And the more we pay them, the more they build up. Let that one sort of just do its stuff. Yeah, so we're now sort of getting more information back out through this other side as well. We still haven't found the capital of these. So Radagar saying I was playing on a map late game and probably a good 60 to 70,000 ships being simulated, and it did start to struggle at that point. Yeah, it will struggle eventually. And Suko Stinger saying but it's a game thing, not a CPU thing. It's just too much for anything. Yeah, which is true. So they've done an amazingly good job. And this for me has been such an exciting update. Like there's so much good stuff that's come. This is just the open beta. Oh, that doesn't even take into account all of the stuff that came in with the latest big public update, which came just a few days ago as well. So they haven't even spoken about that. Like, that's actually just now, like the base game is now caught up with all of the beta stuff, where they've got like much better fuel tankers. They've got better fleet management. Fleets will now sort of do their own thing to a large degree. It's they've done a great job again. It's just it's just awesome what they've done. So Suko saying the borders as well. I've asked for that since launch, and it's here. It's finally here. I've got to say, in the closed beta, I've pushed so hard for this. I'm so happy with this. I was thinking the next thing I'm going to have to start bitching about is because they've brought in a lot of the things that I really wanted badly. I really wanted borders badly, to the point where it must have been painful with the amount I was complaining about it. And also I wanted the measurement tool. Now the measurement tool is not great yet, but it's good enough. Like you can still sort of figure things out with the measurement tool that you actually sort of have just by pressing the shift key. So that's actually that's again very, very helpful. With just sort of to figure things out. It certainly helps. So I have to thank you for the measurement tool too, Daz. Says Dom. Yeah, I think so. I think I asked for that one for so long as well. Also, it was unplayable at that point, just dropping like 20 to 30 FPS. Okay, yeah. Well, for 70,000 ships, that's a lot of ships. Suko is in saying not only has it was it much needed, just that alone makes the map look good. Yeah, it does. I would love more control over the actual borders, like the actual thickness, just a little bit, so you can sort of tweak it. But I don't know if that'll come. But I'm happy. I'm happy with what's happened there. That's actually really, really good. It does make such a big difference. I just have to let the game just run forward. Oh, invading. Okay, we're now doing the invading. So we're coming in now to do the invasion. This is our invading forces coming back in from the invasion ships. Now, unfortunately, going in piecemeal, but we shouldn't need to do too much in through here. And so the troops that are here, there's nothing on the ground just yet. Just dismiss that one, and we'll just watch what actually happens. So it's now hitting the ground, and now we have. So we can see through there. Two of the forces came in straight away, along with the general. So we've got the general actually. So this is Zeke Hulsat. He's got the. He's only good with troop maintenance and troop recruitment, to be honest. And then they've got a couple of militia, so they're just defending what they can. We'll have the other ship. The other things will sort of be hitting fairly soon. See them sort of get in. There goes another landing group. And now we have armor. So we have they've got space control. Not sure why they've got space control. We're the ones with the fleets. So this one here we've got and the armor is now kicked right in. That's just going to crush them. And there should be more dropping as well. The third ship should drop another couple of infantry. But we'll just smash our way through. There we go. Now I'm going to keep all 4 infantry back there, and we'll take the armoured with us because they're not very good at defending. Their attack strength is 335-ish, and their defence strength is 140. There we go. So colony has now been conquered. So we'll dismiss that one. Now they're not going to be happy with that. So our defensive strength is 2,090. If we go back in, you can see it's put these 2 in as garrison troops. I can tell it to override. Now, it will actually override this one unless I actually sort of go and I can just tell it to go to. If I go back to the colony itself and set the colony automation, so I'm going to go and tell it automate I'm going to not have it automate the garrisons. So I'm just going to go and make that one manual. And what this one does, it just lets me then control what's going to happen with recruitment and the forces. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to go and get it to build a couple of the executioner hives as well. So they'll come back in, and I want these to be garrisons for that particular colony, and I want these two to be garrisons as well. So I'm just overriding. If I don't do that, the game will automatically release those, and then these guys will then pick them up. And so I'm now going to go back to the 4th. I'm going to tell it to now go, and it's 2 ways I can actually go and pick up those armoured troops. I can just come back in and just go to load troops, or I can go to the actual planet itself and just load them manually back onto the transports. So if we have a look back in through here, these are now going to be picked up. Now this one here, this one's waiting at Quiltus. I will actually go and set the one up. Now it's just picked up a bit of experience because it went in that particular attack, and so its location is now going to be set to the 4th invasion fleet. We'll just do the transfer there, so it's going to transfer back onto the transports. Okay, so that's now gone. So if we go back to the 4th, we now actually have 1 infantry and 2 armor. Yeah, so we've got the 4 there. So not all of the infantry dropped. That's okay. I'm happy with that. That's a good enough one for us to be able to defend if there's a rebellion on the actual world itself. And so that gives us another world. It's going to start to chew up our cash flow for a little while, but it still gives us another world. So we've got angry colonists at Quiltus. That's what's just giving us the information there. Then the 4th, I'm just going to set this one back to invasion role. And it will now just go back and load troops. It wants to load troops at Quiltus 1, but that shouldn't be anything there for it. Just double check that it's not going to do that. Yeah, it can't do that because we've overridden what's going to happen there. Here we go. So we've got discovered on this particular rocky silicon moon, we've got the Karatu's Principles of Colonial Defence Fault. Discovered the colonial principles of colonial defence fault, ancient ruins from a lost civilization at the rocky silicon moon of Querizit in the Rotal system. So we'll investigate, and this is interesting. In the Karatu's Principle of Colonial Defence Fault, we made a curious discovery. I haven't seen this one before, actually. This is interesting. So we've got the system contains ruins of the pre-cataclysm era. There are fragments of writing in multiple languages, and while very little remains sufficiently intact to read, we've gleaned the words Ancient Guardian. We've heard rumours, whispers, and fragments from half-forgotten myths. If any of these stories contain even an element of truth, these ruins could be worth investigating. You've found technology that has enabled research into Ancient Guardian Vault investigations. We should hurry to research this project and exploit its benefits. A team of explorers have contacted us from Coronet with alarming news. They tell us that they have been transported somewhere, very likely the interior of the Ancient Guardian Vault. They're investigating. Within, they found a massive battleground rendered in holograms. The combatants are represented by 6 different coloured cylinders, perhaps meant to signify any species or no species at all. At regular intervals, the cylinders engage in combat. Direct battles, sieges, counterattacks, ambushes, and so forth. Various members of our team have been prompted to lead one side of these campaigns, thus far unsuccessfully. Our explorers say that they have sufficient food and water to last them months or even years. This suggests that they will not be permitted to leave until they understand how to lead the cylinder armies to victory. Doing so, we suspect, will unlock the Ancient Guardian Vault, allowing our explorers to leave and allowing us to enter and examine the contents. Fortunately, our explorers are able to record these hologram battles and send us the recordings. By analysing them, we believe we will not only learn how to win these battles, but also understand the alien and unfamiliar strategies the victories will require. We will need more time to fully understand how these ancient guardians approach matters of tactical and strategic warfare. We found technology that has enabled the actual investigations. We should hurry to research this project and exploit its benefits. We found technology that has enabled the Ancient Guardian tactics, and also we've found Ancient Guardian strategy in through there as well. So we'll dismiss that. So that's actually now given us a whole lot of stuff. And so here's another one of these know your enemy type things. Now we've just taken over that world, the other world actually. This is actually going back to, this one is triggered because, so that was actually there, that's interesting. Let's just go back. So we're taking over Quiltus. We now have Know Your Enemy. A recent conquest of an enemy world allows us to obtain temporary improvements in an ongoing conflict. We can either choose plus 10% espionage and 10% counter-espionage, or 10% targeting and countermeasures. It doesn't matter at this stage. We'll just go with targeting and countermeasures. So that's actually now, that's good. And so we now actually have that one kicking in. So this is again one of these unique things that have come through. Now the other technology, just pause that for a second. We're still a little way off with these other things. Now where's this ancient stuff? Is it off to the side here? Not sure where that one shows up. Here we go. All right, let's throw that in there. Then we've got tactics. Ancient knowledge plus 1%. I'll throw them in as well. I'll put them underneath planetary governance. So we'll start to. This is now new tech. I haven't seen this before actually, so I don't know where this one comes into it. I don't know when this. I think this has been in it for a little while. I don't think it's new with this group. God, there's a lot of things that have come through with this open beta though. It really is amazingly good. We still haven't found the pirate base either. $107,000. These other Ancient Guardian research took 13 years, maybe too soon to do them. I'll put other things in front of them. Okay, and Buckley's saying, I've seen it with other races. Yeah, it's been there for a while. I thought it had been there for a while. I just haven't come across it. But it's good. Now, do we have any other... We're still missing polymers and stuff. A lot of hyperdrive research there. There's one in there as well. That's going to be a difficult one to take. Now this one here is set to auto. I'm just going to do that manually controlled, and we'll just retire that at one of the planets. We've already captured. That's the only other one we've captured at this stage. $120,000. We're sort of getting through this one fairly fast. Not sure what the ancient knowledge will give us. Yeah, Jen Herrera is saying nice borders. Yes, it is indeed. Oh, we've just lost that one. Now, when we lose something like this system, what it means is that we've now run out of one of the luxury goods on one of the planets, and so the planetary the planets have sort of now gone backwards a little bit in that sort of sense. Okay, it's okay. We'll leave that one where that is. Under attack from Gravelex. That's not really a problem. So eventually this will flick back again when Strelor ends up with more. Like if we go back to our actual home base, what it means is that there's going to be a production shortage here of one of these luxury resources where we've got two sources of it, of Yaris marble, for example, but we've got nothing actually left over, and a few of these other ones as well. Like we're aware of these, we just don't have them on our system, and so the more of those we get, the better off we are with the development, and we need the development to go up. So you can see how it's shrinking. So we're getting plus 40% from resources, and it's got in brackets there shrinking. It means that the development is going down, which means that essentially our borders are going backwards as well. So for the borders to keep on expanding, we need to we need to have the luxury goods. That's the benefit of the luxury goods. It also gives us more happiness, and the happiness then leads to more money. Dom saying no marble kitchen counters. The empire is collapsing. Yes. We've lost the FS63 system, which was a bit of a nothing system anyway. It was just a star on its own, a neutron star. Now, eventually it'll catch up. This is why you don't really need to push the game too much, because we haven't allowed the game to build what it needs to build. We've been getting in and building like all these other fleets in the meantime. We've been taking over worlds. We don't have to do that. We can just let it sort of catch up with itself. So I think I'm prepared. I'm happy to just let it do its own thing for a little while. So I might even just make it go double speed, and we'll just wait for pirates to attack us. If we can find where that pirate group is, we could go after them. It should be in here somewhere. And it would be good to take over this world up in through here as well. Actually, we do have the money to do it. It's just we're going backwards, and the cash flow is going backwards because we've got two worlds that we're trying to support at this stage, which is a bit of a problem. We need these need to get a lot bigger. But we could still take that one just so we've actually got it. That way we've got this whole system sort of inside our areas. Yeah, let's go and do it. I thought it was a good one, actually. Yeah, LNG 3, 26. Where's that one? It's too far away. We'd have to take over one of these independents to grab the other one there. But LNG is a good one. So they'll try to build. Now again, that's going to chew up a lot of steel and stuff. Eventually there'll be a colony ship that will get built when there's enough steel that's come back through. So with the steel, there's nothing I can do about that. We just have to wait for it to be mined. I'm guessing that that's what the problem will be. Probably going to be sort of like around our capital here at Strelor 4. We have a lot of shortages. Yeah, but actually polymer is our main shortage. We do actually have 3 locations. Includes foreign locations from trade agreements. Here we go. We've got the pirate ships now coming back in. What else have we got? What are they attacking? They're all attacking the starbase. Okay, well, look, I'm just going to wipe these out. This is the first. These are just, they've all just got like heavy escorts. It's trying to jump away. We're close enough. Let's just go and load everyone on board this one. So just go back into the first and capture. So that should be enough to take that one out. So the first, again, we'll just go back out to this other side. It's been disabled, and the boarding parties will then take control of that one. Now these are basic fighters coming from here. So they've got like a just a couple, only two, one interceptor and one bomber, and that's what we're seeing through here. That's the basic bomber, and that's the basic fighter from the actual starbase itself. It's trying to jump, or it will. Reactor is offline. Where's the other ship? Looks like it's gone. Yeah, there's only one other ship. Yeah, we've already captured the other one. Well, we're not going to have our boarding parties here. That's just going to be destroyed. And so these pirates are an absolute disgrace. So it's under construction. They're trying to now get it repaired. It's close enough to probably get repaired from here, I would guess. Yeah, there it is there. So it's going to get repaired, then we can pull it apart for technology. And we'll just set that one to manual. At the moment we don't want to scuttle it, we then lose, it just blows up. We'll accept that trade. Almost got the hyperdrive technology now. Now, getting the Jerax hyperdrive is going to speed out a lot of things up for us, but it's also then going to chew up a little bit of extra technology. It's also going to chew up a bit of the waiting in line here. There we go. So we've now got the Jerax hyperdrive. New general appears. It's appeared at Strelor 4. Dismiss that one for now. Now, the trouble we're going to have here, so we've got this Ancient Guardian Vault investigation. So we'll do that one. That's only three or so years. Let's go and have a look at that one, see if we can actually get that one also. It's 40,000. We'll pay the costs on that one. So we'll speed that one up. Now the other things we actually have is now with our ship designs. Let's go into the ship designer. Now we were really close to the limits with actually I just need to go back to latest active buildable designs. So with the frigate, for example, we're right on 450, and unfortunately I think that this one is 3 over the others, so this be 453. Just do an upgrade. Yeah, it's three more than the previous one. So now the torpedoes are 30. Which is, and we also then have available to us the Thuon beams are 28. So and the railguns are 26. So I could replace one of these with a railgun, and that would be fine. Or I can put 2 Thuon beams, which would be just as fine as well. So let's go and put Thuon beams on there. That's the easiest thing for us to change. The multi-lock sensors I like. We don't really have enough of anything else we can do anyway. Iron cannon I really want as well. So let's just go and put 2 Thuon beams. That then takes us under the limits. So I'll just call this one a beam frigate. And I'll call it V2 because it's still going to be a slight variation on what we actually had there before. So save and exit. So that's now our new frigates. We don't have any of those, but the retrofit is automatic. The heavy escorts, we're going to upgrade that as well. And this one is also over by 2. Now the trouble with this one is that we already have the Thuon beams. So if we get rid of 1 Thuon beam and add in a railgun, that takes us right to the limits. But it's more important that we get the quick hyperdrive, the Jerax hyperdrive. There's nothing else we can really take off this, so I don't want to get rid of fuel cells. We don't have a hell of a lot. So we'll save and exit that one. And the escorts, we'll just do an upgrade there. Not that we're using these at all. That one's still okay, so we'll save and exit that one. The patrol escorts, upgrade. And again, that one's right on the limits with the Jerax hyperdrive. So this is 18. The previous one was 15 in terms of its size. So save and exit that one as well. Now that's all the manuals that we actually had. We didn't have anything else that was set to manual, so that's fine. The others will then just do what they have to do. We'll just go back to the first and just tell it to retrofit. And it wants to go off to Strelor 6, which must have resources available to do it. Whatever it's requiring. It looks like it doesn't need polymer to do that. Items detected. Now the other ones that we had, like the second was still set to defend, the third was still set to defend. So they'll just go off and retrofit anyway. You can see them that they're off doing that one. This one's coming back to retrofit. This is miles away. I'm happy enough for them to do that one. The fourth is also going to go back in for its own retrofit. Now, we're not changing the design of these. That's the AI just doing those. And we'll just go and tell this one just to go back to a defensive role, back where it's supposed to be coming from. So I'll just go through and just sort of change all of these ships. Oh, I've got to have it on double speed. I'll just put it back to normal speed. Actually, I guess I can keep it on the high speed. Yeah, so Jen here is saying this, is this 1.2.0.8? Yes, it is, yeah. Matrix Aim Forum contains all the details, yeah. And also Steam should actually have it as well, because they normally copy it straight across to Steam. So these are all colony development locations. We still haven't found out much about these yet. New scientist has appeared. So the game is just building things up. We're already 20% of our way through this one through here. This is a good start, actually, starting with a bigger empire. It's made it a little bit more of a jump start into the game. Our money situation is bad with the cash flow. We're still making money because the empires, you know, the private sector is still buying stuff from us. But yeah, got to be a little bit careful with what we're doing. Should probably look at things like polymer. We do have locations there for polymer. So it should be coming through, but it's not actually flowing. We do have 2 of 7 sources. And there's also one at our homeworld as well. See them back into these other locations. There's not much else around the place. Caslon, we've got a lot of Caslon. Only got 3 sources though. Carbonite, we've got a few sources in through there as well of carbonite. Let's go back to polymer again. Now saying we've got 13,000 in the stockpile. Oh, here we go. Laughter and Leadership Vault. So we've discovered the Laughter and Leadership Vault, ancient ruins from a lost civilization in the ice moon of Glio in the Rochel system, which is in here, which is back over here. We'll investigate. Laughter and Leadership. The Laughter and Leadership Vault, we've made a curious discovery. The ancient Guardian Vault in Glio has an open doorway that appears easily accessible, but is guarded by several dozen perpetually moving melanic spheres. When approached, the spheres telepathically deliver a message that is more impressionistic than linguistic. But most of our explorers translate it as lead us. This act of leadership appears to be mandatory. When an explorer approaches the entrance of the vault, one of these spheres will fire an energy weapon at them. The initial blast was very low power, mildly painful warnings, but with each attempt, the blast becomes more powerful. Any further escalation will no doubt render them deadly. So, yeah, what does this mean to lead these spheres? We believe the answer may lie in the motion of the spheres. These movements may contain symbols which convey information. Deciphering this information will likely provide the necessary information for leading the spheres. This is clearly a test and an extremely complicated one. It may take some time to puzzle out what the Ancient Guardians want from us. We've found technology that has enabled research in Ancient Guardian Vault investigations. Yeah, we're already doing that one. We should hurry that one through there. And then we've got leadership theory and leadership observations. Okay, cool. So the Rochel system has got like a couple of things in there now. That's fine. Let's keep that one going. Okay, so there's more stuff attacking there. It's too far away for us to be able to handle it from our main areas. Now the 5th is still retrofitting. They're just going through their retrofit process. We're going to need to get Caslon mines back out this other side. And we do have Caslon in here. And we do have a mining station there as well, which is good. Now, looking at the time, guys, I'm actually going to have to make a move, so I think I'm going to have to leave it here. But I will come back and play it again, because there's such great stuff that we've now got in this version of the game. It's this is really, really exciting for me anyway. I'm really happy with what they've done. So it's a very, very cool addition to the game with all the different things that have actually come into it. Yeah, big thumbs up from my perspective. I've been waiting for this for quite a while. I didn't want to stream the game until actually this stuff was in it, and so I'm glad I held off. I was so tempted to start playing about 2 days ago, but yeah, I think that this is really the time to start playing the game again with all these extra little bits and pieces. So anyway, guys, I'll actually leave it there. Now that's under attack. Again, too far away for us to worry about. It doesn't look it, but it actually really is. Like, you know, there's a fair distance away from where we are. They keep on attacking into here, but we just don't have the capacity, really. Our money situation is too bad to be able to do anything with that. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope this has been helpful to see what's going on. I may keep on playing this one a bit on Twitch as well. Yeah, I'll see how I go. Anyway, hi Battlemoose, how you going? What's new? I'm actually just finishing up. There's a lot of new stuff. If you have a look at the Matrix Game forum post, there's just heaps and heaps of stuff. So what is the tech level at currently? We're still only, I'd started on tech level 1, so we're still we've only got one tech. We've only discovered one tech in the whole time that we've been doing this. So all we have is hyperdrive technology. That's the only one we got. So we've only got the first 2 fields. So we're still extremely early days. And we're now just trying to get actually this Ancient Guardian Vault still. So maybe I'll let this one run forward, and so we'll get up, see what happens when we get this one, if it sort of opens things up for us. Actually, that one. We then have these other ones that are now being added in as well. Actually, no, it's going to take a bit of time. I'll do that one. I'll do. Oh, sorry. What's our science? Is yep, maximum potential research 228. We're at 184. I can't actually. I am getting these now, so these are actually now starting to pick up. I will actually just go and queue these up. Now we can't go into there because of what's there. We can do that one. So we'll just go and queue up these other 2. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit hard inside that location. Anyway, I will actually leave it here, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.